Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in to Lacona. Postseason football, the best kind of football, and that's where we're at tonight. 8-player first-round action. It is East Mills and Southeast Warren going at it here tonight. I'm Trevor Mader. If you've ever been really excited to be reunited with somebody you haven't seen or hung out with in a while, that is me tonight, joined by the Viper, Mike Wood, as we get ready for this 8-player matchup. And Mike, on paper, this matchup looks to be a dandy.
Yeah, I've been looking at this all week long. This looks like it's going to be one that's going to take us right into the fourth quarter and be really exciting. I'm pretty excited. I've seen Southeast Warren already play once this year. We made the trip down here, my wife and I, and saw them kind of play with Moravia a little bit right off the bat in the first and second quarter, but then really pulled away in the third and fourth quarter. Just brutalized with their big offensive line.
Yeah, Southeast Warren 8-1 on the year. They were the 8-player District 8 champion. They've won 8 in a row. They opened the season against a very, very good Waco Wayland team in Week 0. Suffered a loss. They have won and really done so in pretty dominant fashion all the way through to get to this point. Meanwhile, East Mills a little more battle-tested, 6-2. They were third in what I think might be one of the best districts in the state in 8-player District 9. And the proof is in the pudding because there are 4 playoff teams in that district, one of only 2 that has that. And again, they're 6-2 on the year. Very contrasting styles here tonight, Mike. You've seen a lot of East Mills football games over the years. You know what you're going to get from a Kevin Schaefer-led offense.
Yeah, they like to have a little more razzle-dazzle, a little more putting their athletes in space. And whereas Southeast Warren, you're going to get the exact opposite. This is kind of a throwback to the 1950s. This is going to be a little bit of bully ball right here. They're just going to line up straight across from you. The splits are going to be maybe a foot, maybe 2 foot between the guards, and that's it in the center. And they will just absolutely try and get that wedge going, get 2 or 3 yards right off the bat. Then they'll try another play in the exact same hole, 2 or 3 yards. Then all of a sudden they'll pop you a little bit to the outside with a run. Then when you start bringing your linebackers up, then all of a sudden they're going to throw a little pass over top of you. Nothing really super deep, but they'll just try and throw to the flats and let their athletes run from there.
I guess to try to make sense of this to the East Mills faithful that might be listening at home, and you having a chance to see them earlier this year, maybe a little bit of shades of like a Fremont Mills or a Lennox with how they're going to approach things tonight?
I would say it probably very typical to Lennox and both Fremont Mills. Both of them try, and their whole mentality is, we're going to be very physical. It's all about physicality and how good our linemen are blocking. I see a lot of that in the Southeast Warren team tonight. But good thing about East Mills, they've got athletes.
Yes.
They got playmakers, and if they can keep this thing interesting, what happens if you get in the fourth quarter and you're up by 3 or behind by 3? All of a sudden, Southeast Warren has not been in a game in the fourth quarter. They've blown everybody out. So all of a sudden, things might tighten up on Southeast Warren's side, and you got a shot.
Yeah, East Mills, of course, some of the names that you'll hear a lot throughout the night. Zach Thornburg, very entertaining junior quarterback. Maybe in terms of mechanics and stuff, still room for improvement, but, just as a pure athlete, able to make a lot of plays. The quarterbacks at the 8-man level aren't. But the straw that stirs the drink for the Wolverines, I know you've seen him a lot over the years, Ryan Stortenbecker. He does literally everything. Running back, linebacker, kick return, punting. He's a pretty good kicker. He is going to get his workload tonight.
Yeah, and a great wrestler.
Yes, very good wrestler.
The kid is just a great athlete, and not a big kid at all. He's not very imposing when you look at him across the field from you, but he's going to waylay. He's going to ring-ding that bell on you if you're not paying attention. So, he's just one of those kids that if you hadn't done your homework, he's going to surprise you.
As for Southeast Warren, of course, Landon Harvey, the senior quarterback, you mentioned, maybe not – they're not going to light up the scoreboard in terms of the passing game, but he's been efficient, 15 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Their bread and butter, though, is the run game with the two-headed monster of Logan Montgomery, 703 yards, 13 touchdowns. Trey Fisher, just over 1,000 yards and 18 touchdowns on the year. Mike, as I was doing my prep for this game, the thing that stood out to me when I look at Southeast Warren's offensive line, you've got Tate Deerking, 6'4", 240. Jack Williams, 6'8", 250. Braden Wilden, who is 6'1", 305. When you're playing the 8-man level, that is a lot of beef.
Those are some big boys. When you're talking 8-man football, you're lucky to have maybe one of those, and you kind of build your line around that person. But Southeast Warren, I don't know what they're feeding them down here, but they are really, really stout on both the offensive and then on the opposite side of the ball, the defensive line also.
Should be a fun one here tonight against East Mills and Southeast Warren, Class 8-player first-round action. here tonight on the KMA Extreme Online, KMAland.com. Had a chance to catch up with both head coaches this week. Well, two of the coaches of the three. Of course, East Mills, they've got the co-head coaching duo of Claude Lang and Kevin Schaefer. We talked with Coach Lang. Also, we talked with Southeast Warren head coach Shane Rowland. So we're going to hear those interviews, and we come back. It'll be just about time for kick. Don't go anywhere. It's East Mills at Southeast Warren. It is postseason football here in Lacona tonight on the KMA Extreme.
And now with East Mills Wolverines co-head coach Claude Lang, his team getting ready for a big playoff matchup this week against Southeast Warren. Coach, first of all, good afternoon to you. How are you, and how are things over there in Malvern?
We're doing very good. We basically had 3 playoff games there to end our season that if we lose any of them, we don't make the playoffs. And we came through in each one and put ourselves in position to be in the playoffs, and we're super excited for it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly where I wanted to start. I'm glad you mentioned it. You guys were sitting at 3-2 on the season there after week 5, kind of shaky there in terms of making the playoffs. You rattle off 3 straight wins against Bedford, East Union, and Stanton. The latter 2 were blowout victories. Just talk about your team's resilience and their ability to come through under pressure like that.
Yeah, those early games we played definitely set the tone for the rest of the season. And when we had situations that we thought we were going to probably capitalize and maybe pull through victories, but we didn't. And just the fact that we kept fighting and we realized, like, hey, we better be better in the fourth quarter. And we did that, especially the Bedford game. We stepped up really well in the fourth to make sure we ended that one with the W.
Yeah, take me back to Friday night really quickly, the regular season finale against Stanton. Just give me kind of the overall thoughts on that game and kind of what you saw and what you liked from your team.
Defensively, we wanted to get as much pressure up front as we could. And if we get pressure on him, he'll maybe make some bad decisions. And that led to 3 defensive touchdowns, which has been our calling card for the season. Pretty sure that's our 9th defensive touchdown of the year. And 22 picks, so that all goes credit to our defensive line. I'm gonna name those guys: Silas Allen and Mason Krause and Matthew Haley have been really good at getting pressure on quarterbacks and making them make bad decisions, and our guys capitalize. And then just stopping their run game, like stop it early, make sure that they don't think they can run against us, and they didn't. So it was a very good defensive game plan for us.
Yeah, and that kind of segues straight into this week's matchup against Southeast Warren. Southeast Warren, obviously the champions of their district. They've been really, really solid all season long. So just talk about them. Talk about Trey Fisher, another running back who's been absolutely fantastic all year. He catches the ball too, just a sophomore for the Warhawks. So just give me your overall thoughts on kind of what you've seen from Southeast Warren on film so far and how you guys plan to prepare for this one.
Yeah, looking at game film, they are definitely a group of big guys. They fire off the ball quick, and they do very good blocking schemes. And right when you think you've done a good job of possibly trying to stop that run, they're going to go ahead and hit you with the play action pass. So we're going to have to make sure we stay disciplined in our defensive backfield to make sure that we don't get sucked up on these situations where they may be, play action passing us. And it's going to be a battle up front. I mean, I kind of equate it to the FM and the Lennox games where they have big offensive linemen and they're really agile and they make very good holes for their running backs. So we're gonna have a task for us up front and see if we can kind of wear them down, make them tired by the fourth.
Yeah, and Coach, talk about, your guys' schedule this year was just an absolute gauntlet with FM and Cam and Bedford and Lennox. I mean, just your district and your non-district schedule was just absolutely, like I said, a gauntlet. So I have to imagine that there has to be a sense of confidence knowing that you guys got through that schedule with 6 wins going on the road. Is there a sense of kind of resilience and confidence going into this week knowing that you guys have already played some of the best in 8-man?
Oh, yeah, certainly. I mean, from the beginning of the season, even playing Woodbine the first week, because you never know when the first game of the season starts. They're a passing team, and we know they're bigger than us, and we were able to play well. And then we played really good with Lennox and FM all the way till the middle of the third quarter, and then the Cam game was just a knockdown, drag out to the very last second. Whoever has the last ball, ball is probably going to win unless the defense steps up and makes a play. So just being in those situations definitely builds your character for those further down the road, further for the playoffs, and now we're there. We're at the playoffs. So can we use those moments that we've built our character up, and then really show it in this upcoming game, the first week of the playoffs.
Again, talking with co-head coach Claude Lang of the East Mills Wolverines, his team gearing up for a big one against Southeast Warren this Friday. Coach, talk to me about Ryan Stortenbecker. I know you deal mostly in defense, and he is a playmaker on both sides of the ball. He's been fantastic, rushing, receiving, getting interceptions, tackles, all that stuff. Tell me what he brings to your team as a senior and as a leader out there on the field.
That's exactly it, leader on the field, leader off the field. Yeah, everything he does, he puts in the time in the weight room in the summer. He goes out for other sports. He's, a likable kid. He's not, a bad student. He's a good student in class. And when you put a task in front of him, he's definitely going to put forth the effort. And it doesn't show. This will be like his third sport, in the state. He went to state wrestling. He's in state track. So he puts forth a lot of effort. And he's just an awesome player to have. Like, if you want to follow him as a lead blocker, our quarterbacks love that. And then he does good when he gets the ball. He's super dangerous. And defensively, there's a lot of times where he's getting double teamed, and he's not getting double teamed. They're trying to figure out where he's at on the field. So honestly, I'm going to try to keep him hidden as best I can, and maybe they won't be able to find him before the snap. And it'll help him be in position to make some more plays, because he reads his keys and he flies the ball, and it's fun when he makes it.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach, lastly here, just tell me, if you could give me one or maybe a few keys to beating Southeast Warren on the road this week, what would those be?
We're definitely going to have to limit the big plays and, make them get into a third and long situations. If they're sitting there getting 5-6 yards every carry, it is not going to be pleasant. So defensively, we want to, stop them on first, second down, and limit it at least to get to some third and long, so they have to try to pass, which isn't their go-to. So if we can get them out of doing what they like to do, that'll hopefully put us in position to make some big plays.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, that was co-head coach Claude Lang of the East Mills Wolverines, his team gearing up for a big first-round playoff matchup, an 8-player against Southeast Warren this week. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time this afternoon to join me. Good luck on Friday, and good luck this week in practice.
Awesome. Thanks for everything, Nick.
Getting set for the state playoffs, and Shane Rowlands, head coach for Southeast Warren, with us. First of all, Coach, obviously anytime you get to the playoffs, it's great, and you guys, of course, won your district. Tell me a little bit about, your thoughts on, the season as a whole, kind of where the success mostly kind of stems from for you.
We started the season playing a very good Waco team in a week 0 game, and that's one of the most physical teams we've played in my time here, and we were able to move the ball fairly well against them. So it was like, all right, this could be our identity this year. So we really focused on trying to run the football, control the time of possession, and being sound defensively, and that's just been our approach to every game this year, and it's worked out fairly well for us.
Yeah, you run for nearly 2,500 yards already with Trey and Logan at just over 1,000 for Trey and just over 700 for Logan. Tell me about those two guys. Obviously, good runners, averaging over 7 yards per carry each, but also I'm sure you got to give tip of the cap to the linemen as well.
Yeah, our line's playing the best they've played during my time here with it. They're big kids. They got good feet. They really attack. They're well coached. Very happy with our O-line play and the tight ends as well, because we're double tight a lot of the time. All 5 of those guys are on the same page, and they're doing a great job of firing off the football.
I will welcome back to Lacona here on the KMA Extreme Online, KMAland.com. Trevor Mater, Mike Wood with you. 8-player first-round postseason action going down tonight between East Mills and Southeast Warren. A little bit of a lineup change tonight for the Wolverines that we were just made aware of. Of course, Zach Thornburg, the standout, athletic, entertaining quarterback, not in the lineup tonight due to concussion-like symptoms. That means Ryan Stortenbecker, who usually plays running back for them, Mike, he's going to get the start tonight. And I feel like, with that definitely changes the offensive tackle a little bit, doesn't it?
I believe so, too. But the good thing is he has played a little bit of quarterback. He has thrown a couple passes during the season, so he's not going to be green going into it. But I'm sure it's not the ideal situation that East Mills was looking for going into the first round of playoffs to lose your starting quarterback.
Yeah, I would imagine we're going to see maybe a little bit more of a run-heavy, a little more of a run approach for East Mills, at least for East Mills standards. Meanwhile, Southeast Warren will get the football to start things here tonight. Ryan Stortenbecker will kick it away for the Wolverines. Again, they are 6-2 on the year under the co-head coaching duo of Claude Lang and Kevin Schaefer. And Southeast Warren 8-1 under head coach Shane Rowlands.
And it's the playoffs.
It's the
Let's get
playoffs.
after
it. It is a great time of year.
And what perfect weather. We're not all bundled up and got a north wind blowing 40 miles an hour.
3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, I did a game at Fremont Mills where it was raining the whole night and just not a great night for football. Can't ask for a much better night for football here tonight. We are ready to get this one going as Ryan Stortenbecker will kick it away. And that kick into the end zone, as many Ryan Stortenbecker kicks have been this year. It'll be a touchback, and Southeast Warren in business on their own 15-yard line as we start this one. And Mike Wood, what are you keeping an eye on here tonight?
I'm looking at the offensive line and how big of a push they're getting. East Mills is going to have to hang in there and understand that it's going to be rough and tough in the middle, and there's going to be lots and lots of action, and just got to hold your ground, get off of those blocks, wrap up on the ball carrier.
So Southeast Warren will start on their own 15-yard line after the touchback. Landon Harvey, the quarterback. They're going to run a lot of stuff out of the I formation tonight with Trey Fisher and Logan Montgomery back there. This time Harvey just bowls forward on the first play for a couple yards. Harvey able to make plays with his legs throughout the year as well.
And again, nothing fancy there. Quarterback keeper on the first play of the playoffs. That's just kind of the mentality they have down here. Again, they'll try and lull you to sleep. It's going to be off guard, right over the center, and then all of a sudden they'll try and pop something around the corner. But you're going to see a lot of runs right through the middle.
Southeast Warren, they'll take 4 yards a clip all day. Here's a 2nd and 6 now from the 19. Again, I formation. They hand it off. Fisher trying to follow his blocks. Gets up to the 22 before being brought down on the tackle by Peyton Embry. But a positive gain again. It's going to make a 3rd and short. And, Mike, this is where, if you're Southeast Warren, maybe you have a chance in the passing game if you want.
Right. And in my mind, you probably won't see it on this play. I'm guessing that he's got his mindset that he's going to try and run this one also, but we'll wait and see on the play. But East Mills did a real good job of staying in their lanes right there, because that was about bounced out of a missed tackle, and good thing the linebackers were staying disciplined.
3rd and 4 from the 21. I formation. Movement up front by East Mills. Not enough to warrant a penalty. Here's Fisher. He doesn't get the first down. Got to the 23 before the East Mills pile drove him back. Stortenbecker, Matt Haley among those in there. And a 3 and out for the East Mills defense to start things.
Yeah, that's a good stop by East Mills there. Did a nice job of gang tackling there. But again, where'd the ball go? Right up the middle. Didn't even try and get to the edge on that one.
So now Trey Fisher will punt for Southeast Warren. Ryan Stortenbecker back to receive the punt. Like I said, he does everything for them. He fields to the 24. Stortenbecker squirms free to the 35, breaks out of a tackle, and then gets brought down near midfield. But good field position for East Mills. Fisher, the punter, made the stop, and the Wolverines in business on the 39-yard line. It'll be their 39-yard line. We've played 1 minute and 50 so far, so 10-10 left in the first quarter. No scores. East Mills offense, a different look than they're accustomed to. We'll go to work with Ryan Stortenbecker, the senior, in the quarterback position. And go empty backfield. You call this a shotgun, probably more so going to be a wildcat look a lot throughout the night. With Stortenbecker. He wants to throw, and he does. It's intercepted by Trey Fisher. Wanted to go to McGrew, and it's picked off by Fisher inside the 30, spun down to the 28-yard line by Stortenbecker. And on the first play of East Mills' offensive sequence tonight, a turnover.
You have to keep that in the back of your mind there. On the first offensive possession, they turned the ball over. Now, what's that do to Ryan's confidence the rest of the game, knowing that the first pass was not very successful? Can he shake that off, because he will need to throw during this game?
Fisher brought it down to the 27-yard line. Now you're giving Southeast Warren a short field after they had just came off the field. So East Mills defense have to go right back at it. Here's I formation, toss left side, Fisher. Not much there, maybe a yard or so. Mason Krause brought him down from behind.
At good speed there on the East Mills defense there. They are really flowing to the ball well. Might be a good time to run a little counter if you're Southeast Warren here. Get that pitch out there and then bring it back the other direction. We'll see what Coach Rowland comes up with here.
Yeah, as a former corner conference track coach, you know as good as anybody the speed East Mills has on that defensive side of the football. Here's a split back look now. Nelson under center. Harvey under center. Then he'll give it to Montgomery. Gets a couple yards. That's about 4 or so to the 21-yard line.
That's probably their best offensive play right there. Went over the right-hand side that time as opposed to right over center. Did a really good job with the offensive push there from the right guard and the tight end on that side.
So 3rd and 5 now coming up for Southeast Warren. They're going to call it from the 22-yard line. 9 minutes left here in the first quarter. No score. Southeast Warren went 3 and out of their first drive. East Mills threw a pick on their first play. I formation. Harvey gives it to Fisher. Has the first down. Brought down at the 15. He needed 5. He got about 7. And again, nothing fancy.
Nothing fancy. Went over right guard there. So they might have found something, a little chink there in the East Mills defense. So we'll see what kind of adjustment that Coach Lang comes up with here.
So we'll move the chains to the 15 for the Warhawks. 8:30 left here in the first quarter, and they'll break the huddle. About 15 on the play clock. In our I formation, Harvey under center. Montgomery and Fisher dot the I. And they will play action. Rolling left is Harvey. Man, wide open in the end zone. It's caught. That is Ruggles, the tight end. Dylan Ruggles with the touchdown snag. That's the 16th score of the year for Harvey. It is the 6th touchdown catch for Ruggles. And, Mike, as you talked about, lull you to sleep, and then go over the top.
Yeah, and wide open in the corner of the end zone there. A really nice pass. And that's the reason why he's passing at 59% completion rate this year, due to the fact that nobody thinks you're passing, so that makes it a lot easier when you do take those opportunities.
Southeast Warren up 6-zip. They go for 2 basically all the time. And they will play action again. Man wide open and hauling it in on the far side is it's going to be Schneider for them. How about Ian Schneider getting in on the fun? The 2-point conversion successful, and Southeast Warren up 8-zip here early on. We're back in 60 on the KMA Extreme online at KMAland.com.
AgriVision Equipment know 2 things about the future of ag. 1, technology will continue to evolve, and 2, it's still all about the people that make it happen. AgriVision Equipment is looking for those people to share in the excitement of driverless vehicles, artificial intelligence, drones, and even more John Deere innovation. If you're excited about what this will offer the ag industry, you might be a fit for service technician positions receiving a competitive wage, benefits package, job growth, and stability. Apply at agrivisionequipment.com/tech.
Welcome back to Lacona here on the KMA Extreme online, KMAland.com. Trevor Mader, Mike Wood with you here tonight. 8-zip. Southeast Warren leading Fremont Mills after Landon Harvey connected on the touchdown pass to Dylan Ruggles.
Yeah, and a pretty pass play there. And they almost came back with the same play but to the opposite side on the 2-point conversion there, making this 8-0 in the first quarter.
So it's 8:14 left here in the first quarter. The Warhawks will kick it away. Short kick fielded by Kraus at the 20. Kraus trying to bounce it back to the middle of the field. Breaks out of a tackle at 25, trying to get to the boundary to the 30. Breaks out of a Trey Fisher tackle, then gets upended to the 34-yard line. So Mason Kraus ran about 40 yards to get a 14-yard return. And now East Mills offense will go to work again.
Yeah, did a really good job of running and getting behind his blockers there. Looked like he might be able to spring one along the sideline, but then Trey Fisher did a really good job of just kind of hemming him in until his teammates were able to get the tackle there.
So now East Mills is going to start. They'll spot on the 35-yard line. Very similar field position to where they had last time. But again, they had one play, and it was an interception. Stortenbecker with a running back there with him. And whistle and movement. You're going to move it up 5 or back 5. And generally that's in the area of moving it back 5, and that'll be exactly what happened. So 1st and 10 now becomes 1st and 15 from the 30.
Yeah, Davis McGrew Sr. got a little excited that time being in the backfield and probably hasn't had a lot of exposure back there. And he kind of jumped the count there just a little bit, started to lean, and the head official caught him.
So Stortenbecker usually plays running back for them at quarterback. That obviously changes their lineup a little bit. They'll snap it. Stortenbecker left side and gets 2 yards out of that before being brought down. And that was Wickett. How about Ben Wickett making the stop?
Yeah, nice tackle because he had to come off of a wide receiver block there. Got rid of that wide receiver, shucked him to the side, and did a nice little leg tackle because Stortenbecker gets to the sideline, it's going to be probably 6.
It's not good news for you if he gets to the sideline. It was a gain of 1. 2nd and 14 now coming up for East Mills from their own 31-yard line. Empty backfield, Stortenbecker, 2 receivers on each side out of the shotgun. Dumps it out in the flat, McGrew, they love this play. It worked earlier this year for a touchdown against Lennox, and he gets a handful of it back to about the 38-yard line. Still in East Mills territory, but, Mike just being able to get positive yardage there makes this a 3rd and very manageable 3rd and 7.
Yeah, as opposed to the being backed up 5 yards on before you even got a chance to snap the ball offensively. It is kind of building confidence, though, to know that there are plays out there that can be had, and that's going to be the key. You're going to have to believe after that first interception kind of threw the playbook out early.
And you might be attacking this, too, like you've got 2 plays to get 7 yards. Empty backfield, shotgun look for Stortenbecker, 2 receivers on each side. He wants to throw, lost his footing for a moment, pass deflected. It is caught off the deflection by Davis McGrew. It's going to be short of the first down. Logan Montgomery playing a linebacker spot, got a paw on it. That could have very easily been another pick, but instead McGrew turns nothing into something. Gain of about 5 is going to make it a 4th and short, 4th and 2.
Interesting call early on in this game. Do you punt this away? You're at the midfield area. Do you punt it away, or do you take your shot right here, knowing you'd give Southeast Warren a shorter field to play with?
I think you got to go for it. 4th and 2. It's 4th and 6, 4th and 7. Maybe you're punting it away, but East Mills going to line up and go for it. Stortenbecker in the shotgun. McGrew to his right hip. 2 receivers on the right side. Embry flanked down on the left. Stortenbecker rolling right. Has the first down and is upended by Trey Fisher at the 28-yard line, but Ryan Stortenbecker found the gap, and when he gets downhill, 1, he's aggressive, 2, he's got some speed to him.
Yeah, nice Barry Sanders cut right there. He was out there. He was meant to go to the outside, but he saw that his blocker push that Southeast Warren tackler off to the right-hand side. He was able to plant his foot, make a nice cut, and get that first down. Now they got a little momentum rolling here.
To the 28-yard line, 5:40 left here in the first quarter. Down 8-zip. Shotgun look, running back to the left of Stortenbecker. It's McGrew. Stortenbecker wants to throw. Pocket collapsing, gets a block on the outside and got maybe a yard or 2. Nice block by Jack Gordon on the end, being able to seal it and allow Stortenbecker to do anything with that. Doesn't get much out of it, though.
Yeah, at the beginning of the play, though, it looked like it was probably going to be a sack for 5 or 6 yards, and they were able to turn that into at least a yard or maybe 2 at the most. But did a good job of sealing out there for their wide receivers, and you just got to give Ryan a little room, and he can do something with it.
So 2nd and 8 from the 27 for East Mills. 5:27 left here in the first quarter. Empty backfield, 2 receivers on each side. It's the Embrys on the left side, McGrew and Kraus on the right side. Now I'll put Embry in motion. Goes out of the backfield. Embry didn't see the football. Wanted to go that route out in the flat to Jackson Embry, but he just didn't have his head turned in time, and it's 3rd and 8.
Yeah, that's a real tough one if you haven't been the quarterback all year long, because that's all about timing. They run that little jet sweep from the left to the right, and that running back needs to get that head turned because the ball's got to come out quick, and it's going to be in the air so that you can hit that corner, and it just didn't have good timing there.
Those are a Kevin Schaefer staple, those kind of swing passes out of the backfield. They've torched a lot of teams with those in the years
from
past.
The time when his son was the quarterback.
Yes, all of them.
Yeah, could throw dimes.
3rd and 8, Stortenbecker, probably a passing down over the middle. Kraus hauls it in inside the 10, brought down at the 7. But Ryan Stortenbecker connects with Mason Kraus for the first down. Tackle made by Cam Cipher. But East Mills into the 10, inside the 10-yard line. A good spot now.
Yeah, that was a great pass there by Ryan Stortenbecker there. The first several, it just kind of looks like he was staring down the receiver and trying to aim the ball. That one, he looked a little more relaxed. He just kind of lit fling of it and let that good receiver, Mason Kraus, come down with it. He's very athletic. You can just throw it in the area, and he'll bring it in.
First and goal now for East Mills from the 7-yard line. Under 5 minutes left here in the first quarter. Stortenbecker with McGrew on his right hip, Kraus and Embry on the right side, and then Peyton Embry on the left side. They'll direct snap. Stortenbecker McGrew lost his footing, stayed on his feet though and got inside the 5.
Yeah, it looks like we'll be 2nd down right on the 5-yard line there. They'll be on the left hash mark, and They'll be looking here, tried a little direct snap there and get Ryan Stortenbecker out to block on that edge, and it didn't work very well there for East Mills on that particular play.
And I would guess here we're probably seeing something where you're putting the ball in Ryan Stortenbecker's hands, I would imagine. You got 3 downs to get 5 yards. That's definitely the approach you're taking.
I would have those to the offensive right here.
So they will snap it. Stortenbecker, he wants to throw over the middle. Kraus in traffic, hauls it in, I believe, but he's going to be just short. And then we've got a timeout, an official timeout. I mean, he is like on the goal line, about a yard, not even a yard shy, I would say.
The official called a timeout there to check something, but I don't know if he's just wanting to confirm that it was not a touchdown. Or maybe there was somebody with car lights on over in that corner. I don't know. But we're wide receivers. They're running 2 on the right-hand side, running a little scissors action and getting Mason underneath after the scissor cut there. And he's cutting right behind the linebackers but in front of the corners, and he's finding a nice little soft spot there.
So East Mills throughout the years, and guess what? We've got another stoppage to turn your lights off. If you're listening and you're here, please keep your lights off. I've done a couple games at Stanberry, Missouri, and that place, the way the field is set, a lot of people just sit in their cars and watch the game. I mean, it's like a bowl around the field, and I think there's never been less than 3 or 4 times where we've had games delayed because somebody turned their lights on or forgot to turn them off.
Forget their cars are automatic and the lights come on when they turn that on to warm themselves up.
So East Mills, who, like I said, typically will go for the extra point try. Ryan Stortenbecker, 22 of 31 of those this year. They're going for 2 here. Empty backfield. House coming for Southeast Warren defense. Stortenbecker underthrows it. Wanted to go to Embry, going to Jackson Embry, but it falls flat. So Southeast Warren maintains the lead, but a nice answer for East Mills. They're down 8-6 with 3:09 left here in the first quarter. We're back in 30 on the KMA Extreme.
Believing. That's what you'll hear from customers that choose Barrett Auto Center of Glenwood time and time again. Barrett customers come in for vehicles and service work, but they come back for conversation and honest advice. They want one of the largest pre-owned and fully serviced inventories in KMA land, and they return when they've gone elsewhere and it just isn't the same. See and believe for yourself how little differences add up to a better car buying experience. Come back to Barrett's and Barrett'sAutoCenter.com.
Welcome back to Lacona here on the KMA Extreme Online, KMAland.com. Trevor Mader, Mike Wood with you here tonight. 8-player postseason action. Southeast Warren, East Mills, and it is an 8-6 Southeast Warren lead with 3:09 left in the first, but a nice answer by East Mills just moments ago to go down the field, get a touchdown pass from Ryan Stortenbecker to Mason Kraus. Didn't get the 2-point try, but the answer after Southeast Warren had got on the board with a score. And Stortenbecker's kick is into the end zone for a touchback. Going to be a lot of those tonight with him. And Mike Wood, when you've got a kicker at the 8-man level that is, just any sort of effective, that's kind of a hidden weapon. And East Mills definitely has Ryan Stortenbecker.
Yeah, compared to the 11-man game, it is even that more important that if you can get touchbacks every time, that eliminates one of those big plays, because somewhere along the playoff lines you're going to run into that superior athlete that you just can't kick to. So if you can get touchbacks, that's a huge weapon on your side.
So Southeast Warren will start this drive on their own 15. Harvey in the eye, hands it off Fisher. Fisher bowls forward. He doesn't make any bones about what he wants to do. He's going to run downhill. Gets about 4 out of that one. I'm going to give him 5, actually.
He's got one of those weird numbers for a running back. He wears
89.
Number 89 for maybe, I don't know if it's a tribute to somebody or something, but just one of those numbers not used to seeing in the backfield all the time. But maybe he started out as a receiver and got moved into running back, but he is a good one.
Well, and they got their tight end, Ruggles, for 69. They will hand it off. Fisher again gets about 3 to the 23-yard line before a trio of Wolverines bring him down. Among those, Silas Allen. Also Peyton Embry in there on the stop. But this is where Southeast Warren wants to be, Mike. 3rd and short because, one, you can pound it up the middle with Trey Fisher or Logan Montgomery. Also, you've got to respect the pass in this situation. That's what bit East Mills on that first touchdown.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity pull one out and see if you can't catch them off guard. But they are setting in there tight to the line.
So on 3rd and 2, they give it to the fullback, Montgomery, and he gets stood up. I don't think he got it. Second, third effort, and
it's going to depend on the spot here. Across the field, the guy is standing right on the stick.
I want to guess who was the guy in there to initiate the contact to begin with. It was Ryan Stortenbecker, number 5. They're going to say first down.
That's an aggressive call from all the way across the field there. The head official had no doubt in his mind that was a first down.
And it looked like he needed 2 and got about 2 1/4.
It wouldn't have
it
been more
wasn't
than,
close, yeah.
Yeah, it would not have been more than that. That's pretty aggressive without taking a look at it and bringing the chains in.
Nonetheless, though, we are down to the final 90 seconds of the first quarter. Southeast Warren with the football on their own 25-yard line. I formation. Harvey under center. Will feed it to Fisher. Fisher brought down to the 27. Peyton Embry brings him down. Jackson Embry, rather. I knew I was going to get those two confused at one point tonight. They're both all over the place. Jackson Embry gets to stop, and it's going to be a second long coming up. Well, not long, but second. Long, maybe long for what Southeast Warren wants to do.
Yeah, 2 yards on that first play there, but East Mills did a really good job that time of getting the running back stood up and then bring the rest of the players in to gang tackle them and keep pounding on those running backs, see if it can't wear them down a little bit.
So 2nd and 8 from the 27, down to 40 seconds left in the quarter. Time for maybe 1-2 plays. They will give it to the fullback, Montgomery, and that play was read nicely by Broden Ray, who was able to latch onto the hips of Montgomery before his friends could join him. And a 3rd and mid-range coming up for Southeast Warren as we get under 30 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, that was a design play where they try and bring everybody to the offensive right-hand side there, but then they counter back with the fullback going to the left. But the linebackers there were not fooled, and the ends for East Mills did a really good job of staying home, and that's what kept that from being a 4 or 5 yard gain.
5 seconds left in the quarter as Southeast Warren breaks the huddle. They're going to play it like they want to get a snap off to end the quarter, and they do. Harvey will pass, rolling right, looking downfield, has a man open. It's Cipher. He has the first down before McGrew wraps him up. But a first down to Cam Cipher to end the quarter will put Southeast Warren in business with a fresh set of downs near midfield when we go to the second. It's been a fun first so far. 8-6, Southeast Warren on top. We're back in 60 on the KMA Extreme online, KMAland.com.
For an affordable place to live? We can help. This is Kim Johnson inviting you to live with us in Southwest Iowa. Affordable space is here at Valley View Villa in Tabor, Heritage Terrace Apartments in Sidney, Malvern Village in Malvern, and Forest Park Manor in Shenandoah. Rent is based on your income and utilities are paid. Enjoy living independently with us. For more information on one of our properties, please call us at 866-228-6257 and find out how worry-free living can be for you.
No.
Since 1892, Malvern Bank has been building community from 404 Main Street in Malvern, Iowa. For generations, Malvern Bank has been serving local businesses, families, and farms to help them achieve their goals in every step of their lives. From saving for college to planning for retirement and everything in between, Malvern Bank is your full-service community bank. Call, click, or stop in today to apply for an account, loan, or credit card. Malvern Bank, we build community. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We've played one here in Lacona. Trevor Mader, Mike Wood with you here tonight. 8-player postseason action, first round, and after one quarter, Southeast Warren is up on East Mills 8-6. Southeast Warren at midfield to start the second quarter. They've got a 1st and 10.
This is great. If you're at home, I don't know why. This is fantastic football.
And the weather is fantastic. Very neat place for a game. Here's a split back look. Harvey under center. He'll feed it Montgomery, maybe a yard or so, and then brought down by a pack of Wolverines.
Yeah, East Mills has got to be really excited about their gang tackling tonight. They've had 2 to 3, maybe 4 at times, tacklers on the ball carrier every time. That's exciting. That means that they're being well disciplined, and Coach Lang has them dialed into what they need to. Now they just need to kind of protect against a little pass coming up here maybe.
Yeah, it's 2nd and 9 from the 39 coming up for Southeast Warren. How did East Mills win over Bedford earlier this year? That game, they won because of their defense. Bedford had 5 times they were inside the 25-yard line and didn't score. Interesting to see an East Mills team hang their hat on the defense, and they do it on that play as they gave it to Montgomery on the fullback trap, and there are like 3 guys there, Silas Allen among those. and it's a 3rd and long for Southeast Warren. And, Mike, these are exactly the situations Coach Shane Rowlands doesn't want to get into.
Right. He doesn't want to be behind the stick like he is right here on this particular offensive series. And East Mills, on the other hand, they're saying, we're doing it. You're doing it, boys. Now you got to stay really disciplined here on the outside. Don't be looking in at the quarterback and peeking. Make sure that you've got your route covered.
So 3rd and 11 for Southeast Warren from their own 39-yard line. Shotgun look, and they'll go a little shovel pass, and that's in open space, getting the first down. And inside 25, ball comes out, and it's recovered by East Mills. Broden Ray got to it before he went out of bounds, and it's in Southeast Warren turnover. They went the little touch pass to Jamison Ewing, the freshman, and he had the first down. Ball squirts out at the end of the play, and the Wolverines take over on the 23-yard line. That is a big play.
Yeah, both teams now have had that turnover, and now we'll see if East Mills can turn this turnover into some points and get themselves in a lead going here into the halftime break.
So now East Mills will take over on the 22-yard line. Again, they ran just a little like pop pass. You're starting to see those plays a lot more in the college and the NFL level.
And it was well designed.
Yes, it was very
he
well
had
designed.
the first down, and then he was just trying to shift the ball to make that cut along the sideline when it came out.
And that pass was deflected as Stortenbecker tried to throw it out of the backfield. Yeah, that was, again, everything was great about that play until the very end where the ball just kind of squirted free. The defender got a hand on it, and then Broden Ray did a nice job of being able to maintain possession of it before going out of bounds.
Hey, just kept his toes in bounds there and didn't fall out of bounds and did a good job of possessing that ball, giving East Mills it definitely kept Southeast Warren from scoring, but now gives them a chance to get on the scoreboard.
2nd and 10 now for East Mills. For the incomplete pass, empty backfield. Stortenbecker up the middle, breaks out of a tackle, still going up to the 35. He is just so shifty. Finally brought down to the 36 after a gain of about 6. Or the 27 after a gain of about 6.
Yeah, he's only 5'7" and maybe 135 pounds.
He wrestled at 145 last year.
And he runs like a 200-pounder. He is tough as nails. Reminds me of a cowboy.
3rd and 6 coming up now from the 26-yard line. 9:50 left here in the first half. 8-6 Southeast Warren leading. East Mills trying to capitalize on the Southeast Warren fumble that happened moments ago. Stortenbecker will throw over the middle. Kraus has it. Had to cut back a little bit. He's going to be short of the first down, I think, by about a yard. He was right near the chains when he caught it. Then tried to evade the defender, move back, and he's about a yard shy. Ben Wickett made the tackle for Southeast Warren. It's 4th and 1.
And that was that little scissors play that they scored on before. Offensive right-hand side there. Mason runs, gets maybe a little rub, a little pick, and then he slants it into the inside after that. And he made the catch. He just needed to lean out forward, and he would have had the first down.
East Mills acting like they're going to go for it on 4th and 1 from their own 31. Shotgun look for Stortenbecker. He's also their punter, though. He wants to throw. Pressure coming. He gets brought down awkwardly. Ball came out late. Ben Wickett came off the edge. Nobody touched him. And he wrapped up Stortenbecker very awkwardly. Ball came out. Stortenbecker got back on it. But Southeast Warren's defense holds after the turnover. They're going to take over pretty much in the same spot where they turned it over at on the East Mills 24-yard line.
Yeah, that was just shot out of a cannon. Came off the left defensive side there and a straight path to the quarterback. Ryan had no chance to get that out of his hand before he was being tackled.
So Wickett had 34 tackles coming into the night, makes the big defensive play there. He made 2 back-to-back big defensive plays. Now Harvey kind of a sidearm pass over the middle. It's almost intercepted. Dangerously threw that one downfield to Trey Fisher, and Davis McGrew just about had an interception. Did you see the way Harvey threw that, Mike?
Yeah, that was a little bit of a underhand toss like a softball pitcher might throw. He was rolling to his right and kind of submarined that pass out there. I think if he would have taken a little longer look, he was going to have somebody open right along that right sideline, though, but unfortunately he didn't see that wide receiver.
2nd and 10 now coming up for Southeast Warren on the East Mills 24-yard line. Harvey in the I formation with Fisher and Montgomery back there. He'll give it to Fisher, and Fisher gets met by Matt Haley right at the line of scrimmage. Actually lost about a yard. And East Mills, again, their defense isn't budging.
No, rise up every time they're responding to the call. They are really doing a great job defensively here, and as opposed to the first quarter where they're giving up 2-3 yards on a play. Now at most they're giving up a yard per run.
3rd and 11 now coming up for Southeast Warren on the 25-yard line. 8:18 left in the first half. They lead 8-6. And they will go in a shotgun look, it appears, with Harvey and Montgomery back there. They'll go pop pass again, and this time Ewing holds on to the football and gets some of it back to Jamison Ewing, the freshman, who gets to the 20. And I'm not a betting man, but I say this is 4-down territory.
Yeah, definitely an 8-man football. This is 4-down territory.
Yeah, I think it's 4th and 7 from the 21. Southeast Warren hasn't kicked all year. And, I mean, even the most conservative of coaches would never punt from the 21-yard line, I would hope. So 4th and 7. We'll see what Coach Shane Rollins draws up here with 7:30 to go in the first half.
He is going under center here.
Watch the play action, I feel like. Harvey, play action, pressure coming off the edge. Harvey trying to set his feet, throws a wobbler. It is caught by Fisher, who got over his defender, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Southeast Warren. Landon Harvey had Mason Krause all over him, threw it up for grabs. Fisher was able to snag it, and on 4th down, the Warhawks find the end zone.
And a little bit of a no-no if you're the quarterback. Throw against your body falling down, but somehow that ball just got enough rise on it to get over the cornerback's head there and into Trey Fisher's hands for the touchdown.
Did you ever play the game 500 when you were a kid, Mike?
Oh, absolutely.
That's a lot what that pass looked like.
It did. Throw her up and see who brings her down.
So after the touchdown, Southeast Warren will now go for 2. Split back look. Harvey under center. And they will option right side. Fisher trying to get to the edge. He doesn't. Embry spins him down, and it stays at a 1-score game. But Southeast Warren on 4th down comes up with another score on the touchdown pass from Harvey to Fisher. They lead 14-6. We're back in 30 on the KMA Extreme online, KMAland.com.
C Group, we take a disciplined approach to marketing. We understand that education and experience must be at the forefront of your decision-making process, and we also understand that all farms manage risk differently. This is Tim McGann with the ARC Group. I would like to meet with you, learn about your operation, understand your short and long-term goals, and then together we form a plan to maximize profitability on your farm. Call me at 712-370-3497 or visit us at agrisconsulting.net.
As a defense.
14-6 Southeast Warren leading East Mills after the touchdown pass from Landon Harvey to Trey Fisher and Mike Wood. That was by far, I'd say right now, the play of the game. Landon Harvey, defenders draped all over him, threw one up. Trey Fisher able to track it down for the score.
Yeah, if this comes down to a 1-score victory for Southeast Warren, you're going to have to remember that play right there because he was falling back. He was past vertical, that's for sure, and he just kind of lofted that thing up there. It looked like it was probably going to be intercepted, but just had enough height on it to get over top of the cornerback's head there.
So now the kick, fielded by McGrew at the 7, had to come back to it, and McGrew up to the 20, stays on his feet, still going up to the 30 before being brought down. He had a kick return for a touchdown against Fremont Mills earlier this year.
Yeah, he's got good speed, but more impressively, that was a heck of a fielding of the ball because that was kind of a line drive kick that was kind of scooting towards the end zone there, but he was able to chase it down and kind of catch it like center fielder over top of your shoulder, and he made a nice return on that.
All the way up to the 31. East Mills has definitely had the edge in the field position game so far tonight.
Yeah, I was just going to say that the field position really has not been that very, very bad for East Mills.
Stortenbecker out of the shotgun, pressure coming off the edge, and Landon Harvey in pursuit. Stortenbecker never saw him, and Logan Montgomery able to join Harvey. Ball came out late. They're going to mark him down.
Yeah, somebody's not doing something there because they are coming right off of the defensive left side there, untouched, and that's not going to be very good for Ryan Stortenbecker, especially when he was looking to his offensive left there.
Second straight East Mills offensive play that's been a sack. You go back to the 4th down that gave Southeast Warren the nice field position. That was a sack off the same side.
So there must be some defensive adjustment that the Southeast Warren has made.
So on second and long, Stortenbecker wanting to throw. Dangerous screen to McGrew. Makes the catch, breaks out of a couple tackles, still going. McGrew along the sideline, first down, still on his feet, and then gets brought down awkwardly from behind to the 32-yard line. But Davis McGrew, I thought he was dead in the water in the backfield.
That did not look good from the very beginning. And Davis McGrew did that on his own. There was no block in there. That was all effort, baby. That was him doing what he does. He said, get me the rock, and away I go.
Makes it to the 32-yard line for East Mills. And it's a first down as well. Chalk that up as a gain of 24. Biggest offensive play of the night for East Mills. 5:40 left here in the first half. Shotgun look, Stortenbecker running back to his left. Stortenbecker's pass caught by Kraus. A little slant over the middle. Again, Southeast Warren bringing pressure. Cam Cipher makes the tackle, but Mason Kraus with a gain of 7 will make it second and short.
I'm seeing a little in and out right here by Mason. I think you're going to get a double move coming here as we start to wind down the second quarter. He's got that defensive back kind of set up now. He's been slanting. You might see a little fake to the inside and then get on his horse and ride this thing in for a touchdown.
Empty backfield for Stortenbecker. 2 receivers on each side. It's the Embreys on the left, Kraus and McGrew on the right. Stortenbecker pump fakes, throw wide open. Embry had to come back to it, makes the catch. No, he dropped it incomplete. Trey Fisher initiated the contact, and if Embry catches that might be a touchdown.
Yeah, I think he probably catches it and then falls forward in for the touchdown there, but Ryan just kind of had a wobbler coming off of his hand there, didn't get a good grip on the ball, and unfortunate there for East Mills.
So that makes it 3rd and 3 now for East Mills, and again, this feels like 4-down territory. 4:58 left in the first half, down 14-6. 2 receivers on each side. Stortenbecker, quick pass out of the backfield, one to go to Kraus. It's deflected. Harvey coming off the edge, got a paw on it. Then he gets a high five from head coach Shane Rollins after the play, and it's 4th down coming up for the East Mills offense.
And it looked like they're going to set up a little wide receiver screen there, but Ryan not having the ability to see over top of Landon there, get the ball up over the top. He tried to go around the side of him, and that did not work very well.
See if Southeast Warren brings pressure. They've done so on what they've felt have been key plays so far tonight. 4th and 3 from the Southeast Warren 25. Pressure does come. Pass over the middle. It is caught by McGrew. He's got the first down. I got to say, it ended up not having an impact on the play, but Tate Deerking on the defensive line, number 90, hit a very sick spin move.
Yeah, and then they brought the linebacker right in behind him there as they were blitzing from both the left-hand side of the defense and through the middle there between the center and guard gap. Did a really good job of Ryan's kind of stood in there. He knew he was going to take a lick right then, but stood in there long enough to get that ball right across the middle.
Fresh set it out. It's 4:30 left in the half. 14-6 East Mills trailing. This feels like a big drive. Wolverines do get the ball to start the second half. Stortenbecker, pressure coming off the edge, tries to break out of a Harvey tackle. He does, stays on his feet, goes to the left side now. Stortenbecker inside the 15, lowers the shoulder, brought down at the 12. And Ryan Stortenbecker just slippery in the backfield, turns what could have been a 4 or 5 yard loss into about an 8-yard gain.
Yeah, that's Landon Harvey. Had him right in his sights there and thought he was going to bring him down for the sack, so Ryan turned a 6-yard loss into an 8-yard gain there. That was a impressive play again by Ryan Stortenbecker.
So 2nd and 3 now coming up for East Mills from the 13. Got out of bounds, so the clock will stop with 4:16 left in the half. Empty backfield shotgun for Stortenbecker. Wants to throw, lobs one. McGrew is open. He's got a touchdown. That was a floater that McGrew waited on. Hauls it in as Stortenbecker took a pop. And the Wolverines a 2-point conversion away from tying this game after the 13-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, everybody on East Mills side there was holding their breath. That thing was in the air a long time, going right through the middle of all the Southeast Warren defenders there, and it made it, found its home, and got in there to get this thing to a 14-12 with 4 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the second quarter.
So now East Mills will go for 2. Stortenbecker out of the shotgun. McGrew to his right side. And he'll actually flank McGrew out, 2 receivers on each side. Stortenbecker wants to put a man in motion. It's Gordon going left to right. Stortenbecker, pocket collapsing, and gets gobbled up. Montgomery, Fisher among those in there. And the two-point try unsuccessful, but again, another East Mills answer keeps this one within striking distance. They trail 14-12, 4:11 left here in the first half on the KMA Extreme, online at KMAland.com.
AgriVision Equipment know two things about the future of ag. One, technology will continue to evolve, and two, it's still all about the people that make it happen. AgriVision Equipment is looking for those people to share in the excitement of driverless vehicles, artificial intelligence, drones, and even more John Deere innovation. If you're excited about what this will offer the ag industry, you might be a fit for service technician positions receiving a competitive wage, benefits package, job growth, and stability. Apply at agrivisionequipment.com/tech.
Another answer for the East Mills offense after Southeast Warren went down the field and scored. This time it's Ryan Stortenbecker finding Davis McGrew for a 13-yard touchdown. 14-12, Southeast Warren leading. 4:11 left here in the first half. Trevor Mader, Mike Wood with you here tonight. Class A player, first-round action.
Yeah, this is everything we hope for right here.
Yes.
A nice, tight ball game, very entertaining. Both teams are putting it all out there. 4 minutes, 11 seconds to go. Southeast Warren leads 14, East Mills 12.
So Ryan Stortenbecker will kick it. And again, it's into the end zone for a touchback. Southeast Warren will start this drive on their own 15. If you're just tuning in, Southeast Warren went 3 and out on their first drive. East Mills, though, one play later, gave him a short field after an interception by Trey Fisher. They were able to capitalize on a play-action pass from Harvey to Dylan Ruggles to make it a 8-0 lead. East Mills answered, got a touchdown from Ryan Stortenbecker to Mason Krause. We traded turnovers. Southeast Warren scored on a touchdown pass from Landon Harvey to Trey Fisher. East Mills answered touchdown pass from Stortenbecker to McGrew. So we've seen 4 touchdown passes so far tonight. I formation. Harvey under center. Play action. Rolling right. Throws incomplete off a hand of Ruggles. And it brings it to second down. Yeah, I think if you'd have told me we'd see 4 touchdown passes in the first half, I don't know that I'd have believed that it'd be 2 and 2.
No, I would not have guessed that either after kind of watching them play this year and then also looking at the stats. But I think Coach Rowland here is kind of looking at this going, we might need to open this up a little bit. Comes out and passes on first down, rolls his quarterback out to the right-hand side there. A little better pass, probably has a completion.
2nd and 10 now from the 15. I formation look, and they will give it Fisher. Fisher just keeps the legs churning to the 20 before being brought down by a pack of Wolverines. Sets up a 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, interesting there. East Mills shot in and tried to send a linebacker that time on the snap of the ball and just picked the wrong hole. Otherwise, if they would have sent their left linebacker instead of their right one, would have stuffed him right in the hole. But Fisher did a really good job of having people hanging on him and churning those legs and getting what he could out of that to put this at 3rd down and 5 yards to go.
It's a 3rd and 5 on the 20, and if you're Southeast Warren, you're being a little patient here too because East Mills gets the ball to start the second half. I formation, Harvey, Montgomery, Fisher dotting it, and they will give it Fisher. Fisher doesn't get the first down. It was Jackson, Jackson Embry was there to make the stop or to at least initiate the contact. And it's a 4th and short from deep in their own territory coming up for Southeast Warren.
Do you risk it and give East Mills a chance at a short field if you don't get this first down here? 4th down and 1. You have 2 minutes and 55 seconds and counting. Coach is looking to call timeout perhaps when it gets down. He's going to let the clock run here. He's watching the play clock on the sideline. He's standing right next to the official. He's probably going to let this get down to 2, maybe 3 seconds, and then get a timeout.
And that's exactly what he does with 1 second left on the play clock. We get a Southeast Warren timeout. We'll take a quick 30. We're back in a moment on the KMA Extreme online, KMAland.com.
Believing. That's what you'll hear from customers that choose Barrett Auto Center of Glenwood time and time again. Barrett customers come in for vehicles and service work, but they come back for conversation and honest advice. They want one of the largest pre-owned and fully serviced inventories in KMA land, and they return when they've gone elsewhere and it just isn't the same. See and believe for yourself how little differences add up to a better car buying experience. Come back to Barrett's and Barrett'sAutoCenter.com.
4th and 1 coming up for Southeast Warren. They are deep in their own territory at the 24-yard line. 2:32 left in the first half, up 14-12. And Mike Wood, as they come out of this timeout, Coach Shane Rowlands has a very interesting decision on his hands. Do you go for it and risk giving East Mills prime field position, or do you punt the football away?
Yeah, I would punt it. They're gonna go to the huddle, but it looked like Coach Rowland was pretty encouraging there in the timeout, really getting after his lineman to block here. So we'll see what happens. But I would be punting away here, but it looks like they are going to risk it. They're going to risk it right here.
Risk it for the biscuit. Harvey under center. I formation look. East Mills jumped.
No, I think they're
on Southeast Warren.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get the left guard. He moved his arm back before East Mills jumped, and I think it's gonna definitely be a punt this go around.
Yeah,
not a bad call. I mean, get out there and they're high school kids, give them a couple hard barks there, and see if you can't get them to jump offside.
The officials are spending a lot longer to discuss this than you usually do on a false start or an offside.
Are they saying that the offensive lineman reacted to the defense then?
I think it was Silas Allen on the right side. Moved, but they're going to say false start on Southeast Warren.
That's the way I saw it too. I saw the left guard, he just threw his arm back like he was getting ready to pass block, and that created the defensive movement. So this is definitely going to be a punt now. 4th down and 6 with 2 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the second quarter.
So 4th and 6 will point away. Yeah, I can't say definitively that I saw or didn't see movement there. I just saw the reactionary to it. So backs him up to the 19, and the punt is almost blocked by Stortenbecker. Or no, Matt Haley, rather, made contact with Fisher, the punter. And the Southeast Warren side beckoning for a roughing the punter, but the official says it was tipped. Therefore, there is no roughing the punter.
Yeah, and you started to hear the crowd rumble there as the punter got kind of mauled there a little bit, but good for East Mills. They were able to get a tip on that, and that took that penalty away there. So what can East Mills do from the 30 here as they are 2 minutes and 24 seconds to go? What's Coach Schaefer going to come up with here for Ryan Stortenbecker? Do they try and eliminate as much time as they can, still score? And with Ryan's field goal abilities here, it really doesn't take that many yards to put him in play for a three-pointer.
They're going to start on their own 30. They've got Stortenbecker in the shotgun. They'll go out of the backfield. McGrew pass was too far in front of him, incomplete. And it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, you're just seeing lack of experience. Ryan's doing his best there, but he hasn't been the quarterback all year long, and he just needs to put a little more touch on that, and they've got themselves maybe a 3 or 4 yard play instead of an incompletion there.
So 2nd and 10. Meanwhile, right now, Fremont Mills up 22-6 on Moravia. We're midway through the second quarter. Nick Stavas, Brian Bertini with the call of that one tonight. Here's a 2nd and 10, empty backfield shotgun for Stortenbecker. 3 receivers to the left. Stortenbecker unwinds. Kraus got held, and that'll be an easy flag. Cam Cipher, I think, knew he was about to get beat, and that actually might be a pretty smart play.
Yeah, it was definitely a smart play because Mason was just getting ready to go to the second gear there and run right by him, and he grabbed him around the shoulder pads and held him up, and that was probably a smart play by him. It's going to cost 15 yards here, but I think it was probably the smart play.
Yeah, because, I mean, that throw, even with Kraus being held, he had a play on it. That's probably 6 if he catches it, but instead it will put East Mills into Southeast Warren territory at the 35-yard line with a fresh set of downs and 2:16 to work with on the play clock here in the first half, down 14-12. You're probably about 15 yards away from a realistic shot for Stortenbecker, 20 to be comfortable. Pressure coming out of the backfield. They dump it to McGrew. McGrew has a block. Flags come in. This one's coming back. McGrew at the 30, and that's going to be a hold. I think on the right side, too, Mike, that's going to be the part that's going to be frustrating for East Mills, as That looked to be away from the ball.
Yeah, unnecessary hold right there. Just one of those discipline things that didn't work out for East Mills there. They finally set up that nice little flat pass there. They had the receivers out in front blocking. Would have been a nice gain, probably 5-6 yarder there. But instead, it's now coming back 10 yards.
So now we're back to the East Mills 36-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 19. Minute 59 left in the first half. 14-12 Southeast Warren. East Mills will get the ball to start the second half.
What is Ryan's longest field goal? You have that?
35.
35 is his best.
So, I mean, you're talking in terms of distance. You probably feel comfortable getting him to 30, 35, 38.
Yeah, because there's no wind tonight. There, I mean, it's as still as can be. So it'd just be on the strength of his leg.
On first down, Stortenbecker over the middle. Kraus hauls it in, gets met as soon as he hauls it in. But he gets back a lot of what they lost on the penalty. Caden Crow makes the tackle.
Nice tackle there, but Mason did a really good job of knowing that he was going to take one right in the ribs there, but he still got his hands up away from his body, caught that thing, brought it in, secured it. So it brings up a manageable distance here. We're second down, 11 yards to go with 1 minute and 11 seconds to go.
I got 13 out of that to make it a manageable second down. A minute left. East Mills taking their time here towards the end of the half. Stortenbecker in the shotgun. Pump fakes, breaks out of a tackle. Harvey will carry him a yard or two, but Stortenbecker turns nothing into something, gets a gain of about 6. I think now Southeast Warren might be the one. No, East Mills takes a timeout.
How was that not a sack?
Yeah.
He is all but wrapped up. His knees are bending like he's going down. All of a sudden he shrugs that would-be tackler off with his shoulders and gets a good 5-6 yards out of that play right there. That is tough kid right there, Ryan Stortenbecker.
Stortenbecker just 13 yards rushing, but 2 of those have been on sacks that have been 7-yard losses. So you wipe those out. He's got 27 yards on 6 carries. So not flashy, but
under duress.
If you watch the plays, you might think it should be 10 or 12 yards on 6 carries with that. But
those are not easy yards at all. He's doing a great job tonight. 44 seconds left to go here as they come out of the timeout. Coach Schaefer came out to meet them instead of having them come to the sideline, and he's jogging off.
Probably maybe just a little too far out of Stortenbecker's field goal range.
I say they probably need a 10, 15 yard in the next down here.
Stortenbecker to McGrew has
nice
the first
block.
down. And actually, that's not McGrew, that's Jack Gordon. And he's still on his feet inside the 10, brought down at the 7 by Cypher. How about the block by Davis McGrew to set that up?
Wow, that was beautiful. He took out 2 of the Southeast Warren players there with that one block. That is something that's going to be on his highlight film. Go to his webpage there, and you'll see that. That is a tremendous block.
Gain of 23. East Mills taking their time offensively. The clock is running. They don't break the huddle until there's 25 left. They've still got 2 timeouts in their back pocket. Stortenbecker wants to throw. Scrambling left. Flag comes in. He gets brought down in play back at the 9-yard line.
I think we're going to have another hold here on the offensive line from East Mills.
That'll back him up 10 more if that's the case. And it is on East Mills.
Holding the call on East Mills.
And East Mills has 2 timeouts left. So they're navigating this 12 seconds, kind of figuring out what's going on there. I'm going to see if I can't catch who is walking off for East Mills. Number 6.
I believe Matt Haley is.
Yeah, number 6 is walking off for East Mills with
Matt Haley.
With his shoulder kind of hanging dead there. I'm not sure if he got a stinger or whether we have a dislocation or what's going on there. Hate to speculate from this distance, but another player down for East Mills.
Haley, a backup running back, really nice defensive player for the Wolverines. Done some nice things on the front line. They'll reset the play clock to 14 seconds. Or the game clock to 14 seconds. It's 1st and 19, 1st and goal from the 19 for East Mills.
What'd you call here? What are you thinking?
I've got the timeout.
Right.
I try to find Mason Krause. You talked about earlier. He's
How about a little hook and lateral right here, going back to Ryan? How fast is he?
The only thing that would scare me with that is, a lot can happen on that. Last thing you want to do is lose the football and a chance to at least salvage some points out of this.
A little quick curl. Pitch it to the outside. I like it.
They've got 5 receivers out. Actually, 4 receivers out. Pressure coming. Stortenbecker over the middle. McGrew makes the catch. And a timeout called by East Mills at the 10-yard line with 9 seconds to go. And now I really like where you're at here, Mike, because it's not a deep pass by any means, and you've got the timeout as well, to where if you don't score here, take the timeout, and then you bring Ryan Stortenbecker on and try to go into the breakup one.
Do you take any chance at running the ball here? And
you might.
I mean, you got 9 seconds. You could run the ball and get a quick timeout, but that's a little more risky than some kind of a pass.
I mean, you've got the opportunity for 2 plays, but that's asking a lot to run 2 plays in 9 seconds and hope you get a chance at a field goal as well. But and East Mills is out of timeouts. I believe they had to take one on the penalty. The scoreboard's showing that there's one. They have 1 left, but I wonder, the penalty was a situation where the clock would have kept running because he was tackled in play, and they accepted the penalty. I wonder if that's not the case.
Well, that's huge then.
Yeah, that's really big then, because that changes
whether
the
you
way.
have one or you don't. That really plays into what we're doing here on this play.
Yeah, that definitely changes the way you attack it, because now you have to take a shot to the end zone, I feel like, or get out of bounds. Second goal from the 10 with 9 seconds to go. Stortenbecker, they're bringing pressure. Goes right side Embry, just let him out of bounds, incomplete.
Yeah, threw him to the front pylon there, trying to get one. He had a shot at him if he wouldn't have let him so far. It is going to be a field goal attempt here with 4 seconds to go.
27 yards will be the try. Again, Ryan Stortenbecker this year has converted from as deep as 35. He is 4 of 7 on field goal tries. Did have 1 blocked against Bedford late in that game.
And Jack Williams for Southeast Warren comes in to the game, 6'8", 250-pounder. He's going to be right over the left guard. I'm guessing he's going to try and just get vertical close to the line of scrimmage.
One thing to think about, and they're going to take a delay a game that'll back it up 5 more and make it 32 yards. Caleb Urban is holding tonight for East Mills. Their usual holder in this situation would be Zach Thornburg, the starting quarterback, who is out tonight with a concussion. So, I mean, it might not mean anything here with a different holder. But they will have Urban holding, Stortenbecker kicking. It's a 32-yard field goal with 4 seconds left in the half to give Southeast Mills the lead. Kick is up. It's on the way. And Stortenbecker missed it.
Oh, a little wide right there. Yeah, he had good distance. Looked like probably if they didn't have the 5-yard penalty, it would have been plenty of distance. But in this case, it went a little bit wide right and was probably just a little bit short. What a game we got going here.
Yeah, so the missed field goal by East Mills takes us to the break. 14-12, Southeast Warren leading. We're back with halftime coverage here in a little bit. It's on the KMA Extreme online, KMAland.com.
For an affordable place to live? We can help. This is Kim Johnson inviting you to live with us in Southwest Iowa. Affordable space is here at Valley View Villa in Tabor, Heritage Terrace Apartments in Sidney, Malvern Village in Malvern, and Forest Park Manor in Shenandoah. Rent is based on your income and utilities are paid. Enjoy living independently with us. For more information on one of our properties, please call us at 866-228-6257 and find out how worry-free living can be for you.
Since 1892, Malvern Bank has been building community from 404 Main Street in Malvern, Iowa. For generations, Malvern Bank has been serving local businesses, families, and farms to help them achieve their goals in every step of their lives. From saving for college to planning for retirement and everything in between, Malvern Bank is your full-service community bank. Call, click, or stop in today to apply for an account, loan, or credit card. Malvern Bank, we build community. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
For over 25 years, Chad Mobility has provided you the latest technology, competitive prices, and a nationwide high-speed network. Though important, we're a whole lot more. We serve your hometown communities, sponsor your local chambers and events. It's our goal to work hard while giving back to those who graciously support us. At Chat Mobility, our interests are much deeper than providing great service. We're just committed to serving you. To learn more, see us at chatmobility.com today.
Halftime here in Lacona tonight, 14-12 Southeast Warren leading East Mills as we go to the break. Trevor Mader, Mike Wood with you here tonight. And Mike Wood, this has been as good as advertised so far.
Oh, man, I am so excited. This is perfect, man. We're up in the booth peeking out the window. We got all kinds of things happening down here with the dance team. We got ourselves a 2-point ball game going into the halftime break. This is awesome, baby.
A little bit of a recap in the first half. Southeast Warren went 3 and out on their first drive. Then one play later, East Mills' first offensive play, an interception thrown by Ryan Stortenbecker, caught by Trey Fisher. That put Southeast Warren in really good field position.
And I think you got to say, not a good pass.
No,
not a good pass at all. He was scared to death, and he was trying to aim one in there and get a little confidence, but he has really bounced back well.
So that set up a Landon Harvey to Dylan Ruggles touchdown. East Mills goes down the field. They answer with the score from Stortenbecker to Kraus, made it 8-6. Then we traded turnover. Southeast Warren had one on a fumble off what was really a really nice drawn-up touch pass. It would have been a first down deep in East Mills territory, but the ball comes out late. East Mills gets on it. They don't do anything with it, though, because they turn it over on 4th down. And then Southeast Warren able to capitalize on 4th down. Nice play from Landon Harvey to Trey Fisher. Made it 14-6. East Mills goes right back down the field. Ryan Stortenbecker finds Davis McGrew. 2-point try, no good, though. East Mills got the ball back again late. They miss a field goal, and that puts us at 14-12. Mike, it just seems like East Mills getting the ball to start second half. That's going to be the biggest possession of the game thus far for both sides.
Right. I think East Mills has really got to think points because I think they left 3 on the field right there when they had to delay a game. That they should have been ready. That they knew that they were going to kick a field goal the whole time. They had enough time to get organized, get on the field, and that's just one they let slip by because they took the penalty that moved them back 5 yards, and I think that really changed the mindset there of Ryan Stortenbecker.
So again, we're at halftime here tonight in Lacona. 14-12, Southeast Warren leading East Mills this 8-player postseason battle. We're going to step aside for a little bit, play some previously recorded interviews, including I had a chance today to catch up with Noah Jorgensen, former Sydney cross-country star, now doing great things at Central. Also, we're going to hear from Tri-Center head volleyball coach Amy Wingert, her team into a regional semifinal on Monday night. So we'll hear those interviews. When we come back, we'll get you set for East Mills, Southeast Warren, 8-player postseason football action on the KMA Extreme. Upon further review, and recently Sydney graduate Noah Jorgensen put himself into the Central College cross-country record books, breaking their 8,000-meter time, and he's with us now to talk about that and really how his college career has gone up to this point. It's been a good one for him. Noah, how are things going today, man?
I'm doing pretty good, Trevor. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for joining us. I guess just first off, let's start there. You now own the Central College record for 8,000-meter time. What does that mean to you to accomplish? Welcome back to Lacona here on the KMA Extreme online, KMAland.com. Trevor Mader, Mike Wood with you here tonight. Lost internet connection for a moment. Guess halftime's a good time to have that happen, though, if there is a good time for that. 14-12, Southeast Warren leading East Mills, Class A player, first-round postseason action. This game, BC Moore had Southeast Warren as a 1-point underdog. They were the only
home team,
and I know only district champion that was an underdog coming into tonight. And right now they're up by 2 in this one. It's been as good as advertised.
I mean, that's got to be a good bulletin board material right there. You're underdogs on your own home field.
After winning a district title on an 8-game win streak.
Winning 8 in a row. I mean, if that doesn't get you fired up, then you're not the competitor you probably think you are.
Take a look at some of the other scores around the area. Again, this is first-round postseason for 8-player, small class 11-man. And then it's the last week of the regular season for Missouri, Nebraska, as well as large class 11-man in Iowa. So let's start with the 8-player football scores that we know of at the moment. Right now, on the other KMA Extreme, Fremont Mills is up 30-12 on Moravia. That is, I believe they just went to halftime.
Go Knights.
Yeah, the Knights looking good right now. Meanwhile, Remsen St. Mary's up 13-zip on Audubon at last check. The Hawks, the number 1 ranked team in the state. Then another matchup tonight between a district champion and a non-district champion that was pretty much a pick'em coming in was Bedford-West Harrison. That's going down to Mount-Damon tonight. They're tied at 13 at the half there. So
great game there.
That looks to be a fun battle. How about this one in Class A player? This one maybe surprising me a little bit just in terms of the way that game is transpiring. Cam and Baxter. Cam is playing some good football coming into the postseason. They trail Baxter right now 30-26 at the half, and a lot of points in that one at the moment.
A lot of game to be played there, but that does surprise me that they're behind at half.
But Baxter right now is up in that one again, 30-26. Lennox trying to find that score again. They're up big on Colo Nesco, 42-8 at the half. That's all we have for Class 8 player. In Class A, Mount Ayr up 14-6 right now on Ogden, while Southwest Valley is trailing Madrid, or at least they were earlier, and they still are. That score 14-7. Trainer, they got their starting quarterback, Caden Dirks, back this week. Had missed a couple games with a thumb injury. They lead ACGC 14-13 at the half. And maybe one of the most surprising results so far of the night, they're only halfway done in Class A. HSTW ranked number 4 in the state right now. They're on the ropes against Westwood, down 14-13 at the break. HSTW had a 60-yard touchdown pass to end the first half, but the Vikings down 1 as they go to the break. Tri-Center currently trails Galen Catholic at the moment. See if I can find that score again, but I did see that they were down. Moving on to Class 1A, Underwood, they've looked really good all year. Spoiler alert, they're still really good. They're up 42-3 right now on Interstate 35.
How are they collecting all those athletes out there? I mean, they
just
are
never
big,
ends.
fast, and just fantastic.
Yeah, it just seems like, they graduate at Ravelin. They have another Ravelin. It just seems like it's never ending in terms of the athletes they've got there. Right now, they're on their way to advancing on Clarinda. I know it's one you're keeping an eye on here tonight, Mike. 18-7, they lead Roland Story at the break. Also in Class 1A, Mediapolis playing Central Decatur because those two schools are very close to one another. It's 28-7, Mediapolis leading that one. We're at 14-12. We'll be back in 30 seconds for the second half here on the KMA Extreme.
For over 25 years, Chat Mobility has provided you the latest technology, competitive prices, and a nationwide high-speed network. Though important, we're a whole lot more. We serve your hometown communities, sponsor your local chambers and events. It's our goal to work hard while giving back to those who graciously support us. At Chat Mobility, our interests are much deeper than providing great service. We're just committed to serving you. To learn more, see us at chatmobility.com today.
Ready to begin the second half here in Lacona. Trevor Mader, Mike Wood with you. 8-player first round action. It's been a fun one up to this point. Southeast Warren leading 14-12.
Yeah, this is where the coaching comes in right here. See what kind of adjustments they did during the halftime break. See what they saw from the scouts that are up here in the box with us, what they think they can do. But East Mills is going to start this second half with the ball trailing by 2, and this is your opportunity. I think this is a big series for East Mills right here as they get ready to receive the first kickoff of the third quarter.
So Southeast Warren will kick it away. Yeah, if you're East Mills, you've got to find a way to get some points here.
Yeah, even if it turns out to be a field goal, that still puts you up 15-14. All of a sudden, the confidence starts to grow a little bit on your sideline. I think it's super important that they come out and do good things here with the football.
So Caden Crow will kick it away for Southeast Warren. Davis McGrew, Mason Krause among the returners back there for East Mills. We start the second half. This 8-player postseason battle.
And East Mills has moved Ryan Stortenbecker up to the place kind of center field here in case they try and kick a squibber or kick something short.
So Crow's kick to start the second half is not a deep kick. McGrew fields it at the 8, and McGrew is still on his feet, tries to spin out of a Trey Fisher tackle and gets brought down at the 20. So that'll be where East Mills begins their opening drive of the second half. Actually be the 19-yard line will be where they spot it. Again, Ryan Stortenbecker starting at quarterback tonight in for Zach Thornburg, unable to play. Stortenbecker threw a pick on his very first play, but since then has looked composed.
Yeah, he's bounced back, did a good job. He's running tough. He's doing what he can. He's throwing some good passes to Mason Krause.
So on 1st and 10, empty backfield shotgun, Stortenbecker. Stortenbecker wants to throw. Shot over the middle to Embry. Incomplete. Cypher was in coverage. Embry might have given up on that route a little bit.
I think if he just sprints that thing out, he can run right to the middle where the ball's at, because the defensive back was on his outer shoulder there, and I think he kind of thought it was going to hang up in the air there a little bit, but kind of interesting first call from Coach Schaefer there. They decided they saw something at the halftime break, and they were going to throw something deep to maybe loosen up these corners and linebackers a little bit, so they might be able to throw those scissor cuts, those crossing routes.
2nd and 10 now from the 18. East Mills will spread everybody out. 2 receivers on each side. Stortenbecker in the shotgun. Watch Harvey off the edge. And they'll run it with McGrew, and a defender just latches onto McGrew's right arm and doesn't really let him go far. Gain of about 2, and now it's a 3rd and 8. Coming up for the East Mills offense. Logan Montgomery made the tackle.
Yeah, a couple plays there that didn't have the success rate that they thought it was going to have there. They tried to do a little touch pass there to the jet sweep guy, and he was unable to get around in. He got hung up there when his arm got grabbed.
So 3rd and 9. This feels like a play to maybe Davis McGrew out of the backfield.
I think this is a Mason Krause here. This is the guy I'm looking for. He's on the offensive right-hand side, split out.
One-on-one with Trey Fisher out of the shotgun. Southeast Warren bringing pressure. Stortenbecker makes the defender miss. Krause wide open.
Keep running.
Stortenbecker's throw is caught by Krause to the 40. He's got open field. Krause to the 30, to the 20. Mason Krause with Fisher in pursuit is going to go. Touchdown, East Mills. Wolverines with the lead and no flags on the play. Just the way they drew it up.
Just the way they drew that up, I don't think so, but he did get the ball to the right person there. Mason did a great job there. When Ryan had to scramble to his right there, he recognized that. He gave his quarterback a shot by getting up past the defender there along the sideline. And then once he caught that, he ran that thing all the way on the diagonal across the football field there to the opposing pylon, just outrunning Trey Fisher to get in for the score. That's exactly what East Mills was looking for on that first offensive series.
Ryan Stortenbecker looked like Zach Thornburg back there, scrambling around defenders and finding an open receiver for what goes to 60-yard touchdown. East Mills now their first lead of the night. They'll go for 2. Stortenbecker wants to throw over the middle. Krause hauls it in. First 2-point conversion of the night for East Mills. Makes it 20-14 Wolverines early on in the second half from the KMA Extreme. Online at KMAland.com.
Very best in convenience, it's Cubby's. Stop in today for hot and fresh food, plus that local spirit that you'll always find at Cubby's. And when it comes to pizza at Cubby's, with every large pizza sold, Cubby's gives $1 to the local school district with the Raise Some Dough program. In fact, Cubby's contributed $29,855 in 2021 to local schools for educational and athletic purposes. Just another reason to stop, shop, and eat at Cubby's. For the Cubby's near you, go to Cubby's.com.
That could outrun Fisher there.
20-14 East Mills turns a broken play into a 60-yard touchdown from Ryan Stortenbecker to Mason Krause and the Wolverines with their first lead of the ballgame, and it comes on their first offensive possession of the second half. Now they'll kick it away.
And Ryan Stortenbecker is 3 for 3 on touchbacks. Let's see what he can do here.
So they'll put Jamison Ewing back to return for Southeast Warren. And Ewing is actually going to have a chance to field that one at the 1. Ewing is up to the 15 before being brought down. So, I mean, essentially it is a touchback based on where they'll start with the ball.
Yeah, similar result there, but I think Ryan was wanting another touchback there. I don't think they want to hang their hat on giving them a chance to return one.
Just moments ago, Ryan Stortenbecker on 3rd down, kind of a broken play, evaded a defender out of the backfield. Hit Mason Krause on the sideline. Krause caught it near the 40 and then did the rest for what ends up being a 60-yard touchdown that puts East Mills in front. Southeast Warren now going to go to work on their own 16-yard line. I formation. There's a toss left side Fisher. Fisher gets popped after a gain of about 2. 3 different defenders were there.
Met by McGrew,
Stortenbecker, Zach Biggerstaff in there as well. A gain of 2 is what they'll give Trey Fisher.
Really did a nice job flowing to the ball carrier there. Looked like he was going to have a little more room than a 2-yard gain there, but they closed that gap in a hurry. They got good speed on that East Mills side.
Trey Fisher, 10 carries, 32 yards in total. Southeast Warren, 17 carries, 43 yards. Their successes came through the air tonight. I formation, and they'll go to the air. Harvey out of the backfield. It's caught by Cypher. Cypher can't quite break out of an ankle tackle. Davis McGrew tripped him up. Ryan Stortenbecker finishes it, but a positive gain on second down is going to make it third and about 3 coming up, third, maybe 4 coming up for Southeast Warren on their own 23-yard line.
Yeah, really a very safe pass there. They really haven't looked down the field much here at all. I don't know if they're not liking their matchups on the outside or whether they're not sure that Landon Harvey is able to have the time that he needs to make that completion. But this is probably one of those situations here where we could have a nice, safe, flat pass.
3rd and 3 from the 23. I formation. They'll give it to Fisher. He's close to the first down. I think he got it. Peyton Embry made the tackle, but he'll move the chains. He needed 3. He gets 4.5, maybe 5.
Yeah, give him the big boy run there. That didn't look like it was going to make any yardage at all, and he put his head down, kept his knees pumping, and he was able to get the yardage for that first down.
So fresh set of downs for Southeast Warren on the 28-yard line. Split back look. Harvey, play action, rolling right. Sidearm pass down the middle of the field, and that is caught. No, incomplete, they say late. Wanted to go to Ruggles. He had Davis McGrew all over him defensively and did just enough to jar that ball loose.
Hey, put it right on the hands, but Ruggles was unable to maintain possession as he was going down to the ground there. But that was a nice little design there. That's a toss I was looking for a little bit earlier where they challenged the middle of the field a little bit with a deep pass of 20 yards or so.
Landon Harvey, a little sidearm action, but ends up falling incomplete.
They're rushing to play in here. They're down to 5 seconds on the play clock.
Yeah, they will burn a timeout. No, delay of game, actually. You know, Mike, I'm not always conventional, and obviously I'm not a coach. I've always been in the party of I would rather take, I know every level is different. I'd rather take the delay of game than burn a timeout. Definitely in a game like this where right now the way it's trending, you very well might need that timeout later. It's a lot easier to get 5 yards back than it is to, you can't get a timeout back.
Right,
it's physically impossible.
Yeah, once you burned it, right? Yeah, so that's probably a good thing to think about there, analytics there as it comes down to whether you use the timeout or take the 5-yard penalty. But Southeast Warren on that particular play will take the 5-yard penalty.
So on 2nd and 15 from the 23, Harvey rolling right. Pass is caught. Man got behind his defender. It's Ewing. Now Ewing into the open field and brought down by a trio of Wolverines. Stortenbecker, McGrew among those, but into East Mills territory at the 30-yard line is the freshman, Jamison Ewing. It is a big gain of, we're going to call it 27.
Yeah, big play there for the freshman. Nice route there. And then not only after he secured the ball on the pass there, he made a nice move to get
on the 30-yard line. Tonight's broadcast, by the way, brought to you by Low Rent Properties, AgriVision Equipment Group, Malvern Bank, and Barrett Auto Center. Trevor Mader, Mike Wood with you. Class A player, first round action. Southeast Warren late bringing a man in. It was Ewing. We'll go right side, and they'll hand it up the middle. Fisher, one of his best runs of the night, inside the 25 to about the 22 before being brought down.
That's a little home clock there. That thing was at 1, and then it went to 0, but they did get the snap off there. So that little human delay between the play clock being at 0 and being at 1, and turned out a great play there for Mr. Fisher.
Yeah, I know at the college and professional level, they always talk about a 1-second gap. It will keep it Harvey. First time tonight they've gone read option type look out of the backfield. And he gets gets the first down inside the 20.
Yeah, did a good job there running there, but he's going to have to secure that ball. It's kind of hanging out there on his elbow.
I feel like with a quarterback Harvey's size, Mike, I would maybe use that a little bit more.
Yeah, remember how they started the game? It was a quarterback keeper. So
yeah, that was literally first play of the game.
Yeah.
Quarterback keeper. It's 1st and 10 now on the 17. We'll go touch pass again. Ewing, that one sniffed out. Mason Krause after Ewing gets maybe a yard. It's the 3rd time they've gone to that tonight.
And Mason Krause did a really good job of reading that because that was pretty well set up. That was 1 block away from being probably a 10, 15-yard gain, and Mason did a great job there. He's playing really well here in the second half.
Second and 8 for Southeast Warren from the Fremont Mills 15. 6:40 left in the third quarter. They will hand it off to Montgomery inside the 10. Still going. Brought down inside the 5. He squirmed through the pile. Touchdown saving tackle made from behind by Broden Ray. But it's down to the 5 and Southeast Warren with a first and goal opportunity.
That's more of like what I saw when I came down here and did sideline reporting where Southeast Warren versus Moravia. That play right there where it looks like you got guys hanging on them, but they still trudge away for another 3 to 4 yards.
So first and goal from the 5 for the Warhawks halfway through the third quarter. And they will give it Fisher. Fisher trying to carry defenders close to the goal line, about a yard or two shy.
Fisher with the carry.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be second down and maybe 1.5, but
I'm going something with Harvey here.
All right.
I mean, you've got a big body quarterback near the goal line.
Going to roll him out, or you're going to just go over guard, or what are you thinking?
I'm probably going to another read option type play like they just ran, but
I'm
we'll
going to
see
hand
what
it
they
off
drop.
to Montgomery.
And they will give it to Montgomery. He gets upended just short of the goal line. It was Embry in there on the stop, that being Peyton Embry.
Yeah, Peyton, what a nice job. He was right where he needed to be. Was a really good defensive play there because Montgomery had a nice head of steam going towards the goal line there. So we're at third down and a yard to go. Play comes in from the sideline.
So with third and goal, and we'll see what Coach Shane Rollins draws up. I will say Shane Rollins on game night, definitely the snazziest looking coach in KMA land.
Yeah,
Dress
white
shirt, tie.
Looking awesome.
Shotgun look. Harvey with Montgomery in the backfield. They will keep it, Harvey, and he doesn't get there.
East Mills with the stop.
Embry among those in there again. There were a lot of other bodies as well, and I believe the one making the contact first was Shelton Vandenberg, a sophomore that has seen increased playing time. Harvey actually loses about a yard or two out of that.
Yeah, you gave a little love to Ryan Stortenbecker there, too. He did a nice job of finishing that thing off to make sure that Landon was not going to fall forward and get any extra yards there.
Fourth and goal from the 3 coming up for Southeast Warren here in the third quarter.
Big play right now. What do you got, Southeast Warren?
Shotgun look is what they've got. Receiver on the right side, and movement on East Mills is going to cut this in half to about the 1.5.
That's not what you were looking for there, East Mills. But you still got a chance. They're now at the 2-foot line. Not quite a yard to go here. Now is this where you come with that quarterback keeper and make the official make a call of whether the ball crossed the plane or not?
Again, they started the very first play of the game. They went quarterback keeper for a couple of yards.
And he got one. So see what happens here. Defensive call coming in from Coach Lang. Big guys are down on a knee. They got both hands on the ground.
I formation. Harvey will keep it, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Southeast Warren. Landon Harvey finds the end zone on fourth and goal, and we are tied at 20. That is the 10th rushing score of the year for Harvey.
Yeah, a little extra push there from the back as Trey Fisher comes in from the running back position and gets a little extra shove on his quarterback there to help him across the goal line there. Ball game on. Looking awesome here. So we're all tied up on the scoreboard at 20s.
So we're tied with the 2-point try pending. I formation, and Harvey will roll right. Pressure coming off the edge for East Mills over the middle. What a catch. Cam Cipher had the matchup he wanted on Stortenbecker, and Southeast Warren takes the lead. And I mean, obviously, it's a big play because it gives them the lead.
Yeah, that was not an easy catch by any means at all. There was a lot of traffic where that ball was being passed in there.
So that makes it 22-20. And Mike Wood, this is starting to feel like a game with 3:48 left in the third quarter that whoever has the ball last might end up being the victor here tonight.
And those timeouts you talked about, clock management, timeouts, not getting penalties and things like that are going to be huge. I'm not sure what happened on that last play, but Coach Schaefer, who doesn't get fired up very often, he came out to midfield to talk to the white hat, and he was very upset about something that happened on the for Southeast Warren, whether they were holding or whether they had some misalignment, but when he gets cranked up, he's usually right. So he's been coaching forever, and he knows what's going on. He understands the situation, but I'm not sure. I didn't see anything, but evidently he caught something that I missed.
So Caden Crow will now kick it away. Crow's kick, kind of a wobbler, fielded on a hop by McGrew at the 12. McGrew up to the 23, brought down. And that'll be where East Mills begins their next drive. We'll actually spot the 24-yard line. That was kind of a methodical drive by Southeast Warren as well after East Mills scores in the first 90 seconds of the second half.
But they were successful throwing the ball.
Yes.
Who would have thought coming into this game that their success was going to come by throwing the ball?
Yep.
I mean, they finished it off with a big, strong run, but the play that got them there was passing. And I think they kind of showed that when they started out and they tried to hit that 20-yarder across the middle, even though he didn't catch it.
1st and 10 from the 24 now for East Mills to start this drive. Stortenbecker, pocket collapsing, and he gets brought down. Flag comes in late. Trey Fisher made the sack. Now we'll see if that's a hold on East Mills or if it's
he's calling
personal foul
on Southeast Warren. Was it roughing the passer?
That can't be roughing the passer. Face mask.
Okay.
I was going to say that cannot be roughing the passer.
They hadn't signaled that from the side official. I wasn't sure what he was going to call there, but must have pulled him down during the sack with using the face mask as an aid there. So that's a big penalty. That's a big penalty right there.
I mean, because instead of 2nd and long, you've now got first and 2 from the 32. So it's 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Or 15-yard from the spot of the foul. Makes 15. It 1st and 2 instead of what would be 2nd and 17. Empty backfield. Stortenbecker fakes the pass up the middle. Has the first down. Bowls over one defender. Then gets brought down at the 38-yard line. But again, Ryan Stortenbecker, he's not very big, but he gets those shoulder pads square and able to fight forward.
Yeah, he needed to get rid of that T-shirt underneath his jersey. That's 2 times he's been brought down by that T-shirt. I think if he would tuck that bad boy in, he might have been to the house on that one.
Gets the first down. So fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 on their own 38-yard line. 3 minutes left here in the third quarter, down 22-20.
Or maybe needs to get one of those tear-away T-shirts like Earl Campbell.
2:50 left, empty backfield shotgun. Stortenbecker, pressure coming, trying to squirm free. Got back to the line of scrimmage. Trey Fisher was the man that got home.
Yeah, and Landon Harvey is not even being chipped or anything. He is just coming off of the defensive left end, straight in at the quarterback. I'm not quite sure why they're not at least chipping him as the back comes out or trying to help Ryan out a little bit.
Well, in this situation too, Mike, though, in their normal offense with Thornburg, that'd be Stortenbecker back there probably making that play in terms of having the job.
Recognizing where that defender's coming in from. That's a good call.
2nd and 10, empty backfield. But, I mean, they keep spreading it out. Here's 2nd and 10. Stortenbecker again, pressure coming up the middle. Sidearm pass caught by Kraus. Kraus to the 30. Kraus has a block. Kraus to the 20. It's a foot race, and Mason Kraus will win the foot race. Touchdown, East Mills. There are no flags and a hat trick of scores from Stortenbecker to Kraus.
Yeah, and until you watch the film of that, you're not going to see what a great job that Davis McGrew did on that. He certainly could have got an offensive pass interference on that, but he really sold that he just kind of stopped, froze, and that defender that was guarding Mason got hung up in that little melee there, gave Mason an opportunity to catch the ball, and then streak again across the field on a diagonal to get into the touchdown to put themselves up 26-22 with the 2-point conversion coming.
We've had as many touchdowns in the first 10 minutes of the second half as we had in the entire first half. East Mills will now go for 2. He'll put McGrew in motion right to left. Stortenbecker wants to throw. Instead, he'll make a play with his legs. Montgomery got to him, and he's just stopped shy.
Yeah, and that's one where the helmet got in, but the ball did not. The tackler did a really good job of wrapping the ball up and keeping Ryan from extending that ball across the goal line. and that could be big points coming up right here. So East Mills is up 26-22, 1 minute and 57 seconds to go in the third quarter.
We're back in 30 here on the KMA Extreme. Fun one here tonight in Lacona.
For unlimited super fast internet you can always rely on, look no further than FMTC's fiber internet. With so much relying on your internet these days, you need a connection you can trust. You can work from home, video chat, stream your favorite TV shows, and more without worrying about the stability of your internet. You could have what everyone else wishes they had.
Your connection to the world, FMTC.
Back in fourth we go, and what's been a fun one here tonight in Lacona on the KMA Extreme online, KMAland.com. Trevor Mader, Mike Wood with you, 26-22. East Mills leading Southeast Warren. This 8-player first-round battle, 1:57 left in the third. Ryan Stortenbecker just connected with Mason Krause for their third touchdown hookup of the night.
Yeah, they've been dynamo tonight. Well worth the price of admission tonight to get to see this two teams go at it.
That one came from 42 yards out, and now Stortenbecker will kick it away, and it's into the end zone for a touchback. This was a 14-12 game going into the break. We've had 3 possessions. We've had 3 touchdowns. 2 from Stortenbecker to Krause, and then 1 on a quarterback keeper by Landon Harvey on 4th and goal for Southeast Warren.
That's what makes 8-player football so exciting this time of year. No matter what your record, no matter what you have, there's always a chance every time you line up to play.
Clarinda, meanwhile, up 34-15 right now on Roland Story, so the Cardinals in a good spot. Here's I formation from the 15 for Southeast Warren. Now they'll put a man out and they hand it off Montgomery. Gets a couple yards out of that.
Was that Fisher? They kind of sprint out there trying to draw the linebacker attention and then give it to Montgomery on the straight dive.
First time we've seen that look tonight.
Yeah, a little bit different there. Kind of going a little deeper in the playbook here.
And that's going to probably be what you've got to do if you're Coach Shane Rollins and company.
I know he doesn't want to live by the pass, but I think he's going to maybe need to throw a couple more here to loosen things up for that running game.
2nd and 7 from the 18. Split back look. Now they'll put Fisher out in motion on the left side. They give it to Montgomery. Montgomery spins out of a tackle. Then it gets cleaned up. Gets a couple yards out of that, about 3. We'll make it 3rd and 4. And maybe, Mike, it's situation 2 where you're setting it up, and then all of a sudden you've got Trey Fisher in a passing situation.
I was just thinking the same thing there. We're on the same channel here. I was thinking they might be trying to set this up for something here as they kind of sprint him out wide right offensively and then come back wide left there, or they're trying to maybe do a wheel route with him or something like that.
I formation on 3rd and 4, final minute of the third quarter. And they will put it in the belly of Montgomery, and he doesn't get the first down. He got drugged down from behind. Mason Krause made the stop, and it's going to be a 4th and short. Southeast Warren will not have to run a play before the end of the quarter if they don't want to.
I think this probably be a good time to talk about it. You don't have to worry about wind.
And this is a very interesting decision coming up for Coach Shane Rollins and company.
I mean, you're down 4. Do you risk the chance of giving up a very short field to East Mills?
But also, you haven't stopped East Mills so far in the second half. Harvey will rush under center, and East Mills moved. No whistle, and the quarter will end. So that might have been the plan all along. See if you can get something, quick to get the free 5, and if not, we'll talk it over as we go to the 4th. So a big decision coming up for the Warhawks. They trail 26-22 as we go to the 4th. It's been a treat so far on the KMA Extreme online at KMAland.com.
Since 1892, Malvern Bank has been building community from 404 Main Street in Malvern, Iowa. For generations, Malvern Bank has been serving local businesses, families, and farms to help them achieve their goals in every step of their lives. From saving for college to planning for retirement and everything in between, Malvern Bank is your full-service community bank. Call, click, or stop in today to apply for an account, loan, or credit card. Malvern Bank, we build community. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, this is Alan at Hawkeye Ford, reminding you that we are your destination for new and used vehicles in Southwest Iowa. We accept many options for trade-in with or without wheels to get your deal done. Hawkeye Ford is also your Southwest Iowa WeatherTech headquarters. So come on down with whatever you need to get done to get into a new vehicle for you and your family.
Go to the fourth here in the KMA Extreme 8-player playoff action. It's 26-22. East Mills leading Southeast Warren. Southeast Warren facing a 4th and 3 from their own 22 to start the fourth quarter. Mike Wood, they are lining up like they're going to go for it. Shane Rowland's maybe a little riverboat gambler in him tonight. I formation look for the Warhawks. See if they actually snap, and they do. Play action, Harvey, pocket collapsing, sidearm pass, caught by Montgomery at the 40, inside the 35, and Shane Rowland's the gamble works on the completion from Harvey to Montgomery.
Wow. They left Fisher in to come back and help with the protection of the quarterback there, because he needed every ounce of that time because he was getting smacked right in the grill when he let that pass go.
One might say that was onions from the Southeast Warren offense to go for it in that situation.
That's bold.
Now they've got an East Mills territory at the 33. Here's a handoff, Fisher. Fisher doesn't get much. Latching onto an ankle and making that stop was Silas Allen.
Yeah, he's hobbled there a little bit, but he's been playing tough. I see him run in and out. I think they're trying to rest that ankle the best they can. It's pretty taped up right now, but what a great tackle he just made there. He's trying to suck in as much oxygen as he can. He's kind of tired there, but he's been playing tough because the linemen are big for Southeast Warren.
West Harrison up 10 on Bedford as they go to the fourth quarter. 2nd and 9 under 11 left in this game. Split back look, Harvey under center. They will toss left side Fisher. Fisher up past the 30, spun down to the 29. McGrew and Stortenbecker were there. And a 3rd and manageable coming up for Southeast Warren.
Yeah, really good block on the outer edge there by number 90, who is Tate.
Tate Dierking.
Yeah. How do you say that last name?
Dierking.
That's all right. 6'4", 240-pounder out there knocking around those defensive backs.
It's a wrestling name. And, the Dierking name, I feel like it's been in the Southeast Warren school system for 17 years, it feels like. TJ Dierking, one of the older ones, a pretty good wrestler for them. 3rd and 6.
Oh, good trivia there.
There's a lot of useless knowledge up in the brain. I formation and play action. Harvey with defenders in pursuit. Downfield Cipher. Incomplete, and a flag's going to come in. They're going to get Embry, that being Peyton Embry, I think, for being just a little too aggressive.
Yeah, he never tried to find the ball in the air. He was definitely locked in on the receiver, had his hands all over him. Probably a pretty safe call there. The crowd got a little excited on that one. Probably they came up with the right call.
So that'll be a fresh set of downs. The officials
are kind of gathering to talk over what they saw and what they didn't see, but the ball has already been advanced, so I'm assuming. But we got officials on the side that were still talking to each other. I don't know if they got a newer official in the back there. That's usually where you put your young guy, and whether the side official was just trying to help him out.
Moves it to 1st and 10 from the 14 for Southeast Warren. 10 minutes left. Shotgun look. Haven't done that much tonight, but they do here. Read option, Harvey. Inside the 10. Lowers the shoulder and gets stood up at the 10.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to have 10, 15 yards right there, and all of a sudden the hold is closed up on him, but really a well-designed play on that one. They scored on a touchdown there with the quarterback keeper, started the game with the quarterback keeper, and that's the 3rd one we've seen tonight.
2nd and 5 now for Southeast Warren, right at the 10-yard line. 9:30 to go.
This is a 4-point ball game. I just can't believe how close it is.
It's been a doozy so far. I formation. Montgomery and Fisher dot the I, and they will hand it off. Fisher, maybe a couple yards. Mason Krause made first contact.
And the linebackers for East Mills are just charging as soon as the ball is snapped.
This is, and I know, Mike, you've seen a lot of East Mills teams. I've seen a lot of East Mills teams. This defensively might be the best defensive team they've had. And a lot of times in years past, that's probably been their kryptonite. They've had offenses that they could put points on the board like no other.
60 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say this is a very, very, very good defense.
I formation. Play action. Harvey rolling right. Has a man. Cypher. Race to the pylon. Gets brought down inside the 2 by Peyton Embry.
Takes it down to the 1 yard line. That's good for another Warhawks.
But it's a situation that Southeast Warren wants to be in. They got the first down.
Has Landon had a clean pocket?
Very rarely tonight.
I mean, he is making passes with people draped all over him, falling down, throwing it underhand, throwing it sidearm. I mean, he has done an amazing job to get that ball downfield for not doing much passing during the season.
So 1st and goal from the 1, and see what they draw up here. Harvey under center. I formation. Montgomery and Fisher back there. And Harvey on the keeper into the end zone. Touchdown, Southeast Warren. And the Warhawks regain the lead with 7:58 to go on the 1-yard score by Landon Harvey.
Yeah, I think the offensive line there for Southeast Warren is kind of taking over the game on that possession right there. They did a really good job of pushing. Landon Harvey was hardly touched at all as he went in on the quarterback keeper there.
So now they'll line up and go for 2. Up 28-26 with just under 8 left here in regulation. Again, I formation look. Montgomery and Fisher back there for Southeast Warren, and they'll play action. Rolling left is Harvey. Pass to the end zone is caught by Montgomery, and that'll make it 30-26. So we have
Montgomery has become the receiver to go to right here. They kept Fisher in the block again that time. Must have seen something that from the sideline that they said, hey, if we can get, Landon just a hair more time, we'll run Montgomery through the line and then out on some kind of a square route. We're going to have a little success, and they have.
Back and forth, back and 30 here in Lacona.
Since 1892, Malvern Bank has been building community from 404 Main Street in Malvern, Iowa. For generations, Malvern Bank has been serving local businesses, families, and farms to help them achieve their goals in every step of their lives. From saving for college to planning for retirement and everything in between, Malvern Bank is your full-service community bank. Call, click, or stop in today to apply for an account, loan, or credit card. Malvern Bank, we build community. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
How about this one here tonight on the KMA Extreme? Southeast Warren leading East Mills 30-26. 7:58 left to go in this one. We have not had a defensive stop so far in the second half.
All Big O in the second half here, man. Back and forth, back and forth.
And that was after the defenses had made big plays in the first half. Kick will be in play, fielded by East Mills inside the 10. Mason Krause with a head of steam. Krause runs into his own blocker, gets brought down to 26.
Down by Montgomery and Wickett.
And East Mills will be in business there.
26, 1st and 10 East Mills.
Yeah, East Mills trailing by 4 here with 7 minutes, 51 seconds to go. You got to think, what's this drive going to look like here? What are they going to need to do? What's the wrinkle they need to throw in here? Need to get Mason Krause back involved. Need to get Ryan Stortenbecker running a little bit. What's it going to be?
Stortenbecker tonight, 16 of 24, 241 and 4 scores. Mason Krause, 8 catches for 152 yards and 3 scores. I'm curious, the chess match now if you're Shane Rollins and company, how do you try to combat Mason Krause, who's right now on the right side? Empty backfield, out of the shotgun will go Stortenbecker on first down. They'll put Jack Gordon in motion, kind of a pass protector. Stortenbecker over the middle has Krause. Krause breaks out of an ankle tackle, falls forward, and they're going to give him the first down to the 37.
And that was not much of a route at all by Mason. All he did was he came off the line, and he just sat down. And he knows evidently that they're playing so far off that they're going to be able to catch that ball, get a nice, easy 10 yards on that play right there. But the defensive backs for Southeast Warren are a little confused on what their coverage is going to be.
1st and 10 now from the 36. 7:44 to go in this one. Empty backfield, shotgun, 2 receivers on each side for Stortenbecker. Pressure looks like coming off the edge. They out of the backfield, Embry. Embry's got a blocker and gets chased out of bounds to the 33, but that blitz was picked up. Trey Fisher came soaring in off the edge, but they're able to go to Embry, and that being Jackson Embry out of the backfield to move the chains again.
Yeah, that was a dangerous play for Southeast Warren right there. They blitzed right where the pass went to, And luckily the sideline kind of helped Southeast Warren keep that from being a touchdown because Ryan Stortenbecker did a good job with that blitz coming right in his face of getting the ball out of his hands.
1st and 10 from the 34, 7:38 to go in this one. Stortenbecker wants to throw, sidearm pass, caught by Kraus. Kraus trying to break out of a tackle. He does. He's still on his feet and keeps carrying defenders. Still going inside the 20 before being spun down. Mason Kraus, not to be denied, moves the chains.
Now, these are kids that just want to keep playing. This is awesome. There is great play on both sides of the ball here happening right now. These are kids that don't want their season to end tonight.
Gain of 15 from Stortenbecker to Kraus inside the 20. This is shaped up to be a track meet of sorts in the second half.
I hope everybody else in the state is having as much fun as we are watching these athletes.
Beautiful night for football. Been a fun game. Empty backfield look. Stortenbecker out of the shotgun. 2 receivers on each side. Low snap. Ball's on the ground. He's able to chase it down. Gets brought down, though, the 31. Montgomery and Ruggles were there.
Wow, that was really close to another face mask, though. Ruggles did a really good job. He had his hand up underneath, had his hand on the face mask, but did a nice job of dropping it off so it was not part of the tackle. But that could have been called depending on your angle.
Make it 2nd and 21 now from the 30 for East Mills.
Is that going to be the one right there, the play? The bad snap from center?
Very well could be. We'll have to see how this works. Kraus flanked down the right side, 2 receivers on each side. Quick pass out of the backfield, Kraus. Kraus gets maybe 2 yards before being brought down. Cam Cipher made the stop, and it's a 3rd and long coming up for East Mills.
Yeah, I tried to run that little wide receiver screen out there, get 2 blockers out in front of him, bring Mason back towards the ball there, see if they couldn't spring something across the middle.
3rd and 20. This has been a pressure situation for Southeast Warren. Do you go to the well one more time?
Yeah, do you try and blitz Ryan? Know that if you kind of let him out of the pocket, things could be bad.
Trips left. They'll get pressure off the edge. Stortenbecker steps into a wobbler that's picked off by Cipher. Cipher is brought down, though, inside the 5 at the 2. But Cam Cipher plays center field on that one, and a turnover thwarts a promising East Mills drive.
Yeah, and they brought Fisher on the blitz that time, but he was not effective because Ryan actually stepped opposite of him and went to his right-hand side, so that did not affect the pass. Just came out of his hand and had a little bit of a wobble to it, and it gave that a chance to pick that thing off right in the middle of the field. He would have been better to go down in the end zone, so they would have brought the ball out, but now they'll be going from the 2-yard line.
5:35 to go. You'd like a nice long drive here that ends in points if you're Southeast Warren. Harvey will just bowl forward just to give yourself some breathing room. And, Mike, I think we're going to see a heavy dose of Trey Fisher and Landon Harvey here.
I think so, too. As the nose guard for East Mills is really starting to hobble now. I wonder if they have anybody else there that fill in for me. Going to have to tough this thing out here for the next 5 minutes and 3 seconds.
2nd and 6 from the 6, down under 5 minutes to go. And they will hand it off. Fisher, he got met in the backfield right away by Mason Kraus.
Yeah, that was not a very good mesh point. Not sure if the running back went the wrong direction or whether Landon Harvey went the wrong direction, but something was not smooth on that handing of the ball.
Under 5 to go. Big 3rd down coming up. 3rd and 7 from the 5. For East Mills, you get a stop here, you're probably going to get good field position as well, assuming Southeast Warren punts it away. Southeast Warren trying to burn time, and if you're Southeast Warren here and you get a 1st down, East Mills going to think about using timeouts. On 3rd and 7, they give it to Ewing. Ewing doesn't get the 1st down. He is gang tackled at the 5, and a 3-and-out for the East Mills defense. Going to give him a shot with under 4 to go.
Well done by the defense. They were not fooled by that little touch pass there, that little bring the receiver from the left-hand side of the offense all the way across the the line there to get him the ball, but this is going to give you a shot. This is going to really give you a chance coming down here. Under 4 minutes to go, trailing by 4 points. East Mills is.
Ryan Stortenbecker back to return. Trey Fisher will punt from his own end zone. And the punt was almost blocked. Might have been deflected. It's going to be returned short by McGrew at the 10. McGrew inside the 5. And the East Mills special teams with a big play. That was partially blocked. McGrew fielded it, got inside the 10.
On the run, he fielded it. On the run, was able to have a full head of steam and get that thing down to the 5-yard line. This is now getting really interesting for the East Mills fan base.
So they trail 30-26 with 3:18 to go. High drama here tonight in Lacona. They'll come up to the line of scrimmage. Shotgun look for Stortenbecker. Stortenbecker wants to throw. Pocket collapsing and tries to spin out of the sack. He cannot. Brought down to the 10. And guess who? Trey Fisher among those, as well as Tate Deerking.
Loss of 5. Second and goal.
Had good hand strength there. He was able to grab him by the jersey and bring him down one-handed.
Loss of 5. Second and goal now from, they're going to call it the 11-yard line. Under 3 minutes to go in this one. What a ball game here tonight in Lacona. Somebody's going to move on in thrilling fashion. Somebody else going to see their season come to a heartbreaking close. 2 receivers on each side. Stortenbecker wants to throw out of the backfield. Kraus inside the 5. Kraus breaks out of a tackle. He is into the end zone. Touchdown, East Mills.
He must have just snuck inside that pylon. Looked like he had stepped out on the 1 or 2 yard line, but the official standing right there says that he got inside the pylon. What a great move by Mason.
So the 4th touchdown pass of the night from Stortenbecker to Kraus. And we've got an injured Warhawk down to the far sideline that'll have to be tended to. But Mike Wood, as you mentioned, just a brilliant play drawn up there by Coach Kevin Schaefer to get Mason Kraus in space and let him do the rest.
Yeah, they are really getting good blocks by their other receivers downfield, and that's really where this comes from, because Mason is catching really short passes but then turning them into big plays, but it is all stemmed from the amount of downfield blocking that they're getting, and they're not holding. They're not getting called for holds. They're doing a really good job of keeping their hands inside the shoulder pads there and just maintaining that block by moving their feet. Really well done.
So while they tend to the injured Warhawk, we will take a break. Back in a moment here on the KMA Extreme Online, KMAland.com.
Nutrien Ag Solutions is your leading agricultural retailer of crop inputs and expert solutions. And they're your choice in the region for top-of-the-line products and customer service. When nothing short of the best is your standard, talk with Nutrien Ag Solutions in Westboro, Missouri, Coyne, Percival, and Essex, Iowa for fall application and products. Nutrien Ag Solutions, growing your crops and your bottom line.
Welcome back to Lacona here on the KMA Extreme Online, KMAland.com. Trevor Mander, Mike Wood with you here tonight. East Mills just moments ago taking a 32-30 lead on a touchdown pass from Ryan Stortenbecker to Mason Kraus. And Mike, you brought up a great point. Up 2 right now if you're East Mills. Do you kick the PAT and make it a 3-point game regardless, assuming you make it?
Right. Well, 4-3. Then it's a field goal. They'd have to get the touchdown either way. And as good as Ryan Stortenbecker is on field goals, I think the way to go is to kick the 1 point here. Oh, and by golly, they are going to do that also.
So
First time tonight.
Yeah, Caleb Urban will hold. Yeah, because Southeast Warren really in the kicking game hasn't done much this year. So I'd rather make it where they got to have a field goal to tie it than a field goal to walk it off and win it potentially. So obviously it's a big PAT coming up. And the snap is good. The kick is down, and Stortenbecker misses it.
Whoa.
Hooked it right. And that is big. That is big
really
in a lot of ways.
Because now the field goal beats you, and I'm not sure. That couldn't have missed by much there from our vantage point. Must have just went over the right-hand side outside of play of that field goal because it looked like it was.
It looked off the foot.
Yeah,
like
well
it was
struck.
going to be good. But I've said that about my golf shots before, too. You know, off the driver, they look good.
That's why I close my eyes a lot when I swing.
Maybe that's why my swings are so bad. 2:31 left in this ballgame. Class A player, postseason action. Trevor Mater, Mike Wood with you here tonight. 32-30. This has been a classic.
2-point game, 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go, all for a chance to move on in the playoffs. This is great drama building here.
Now, Southeast Warren, their kicker has been Caden Crow. They have not kicked a field goal this year. He is 3 for 6 as well on PATs.
What year is he in school?
He is, I don't have that in my notes, he's a sophomore.
Yeah, maybe we trust him, maybe we don't.
Kick will be into the end zone for a touchback. And Southeast Warren down 2 with 2:31 to go. Landon Harvey, the senior quarterback.
Do they have enough time to keep running down the middle of the field, or are they going to have to come out and chuck this thing?
I think, you've got all 3 timeouts, so you can do that a little bit.
And BC Moore was a 1-point difference in this game.
0.9, actually.
How good are they?
Dude knows what he's talking about.
Dude does know what he's talking about.
I formation, play action, Harvey wanting to throw, now trying to make something happen with his legs, up to the 20, to the 25, and scoots out of bounds. Nice job by Landon Harvey getting the first down and then getting out of bounds. 2:24 left.
That's a good decision there. He would have had a chance at a pass, but it was not wide open. Make the smart decision. Get the first down and get out of bounds there. Save yourself a timeout.
So it's a gain of 11 to move the chains. Also, it stops the clock momentarily. So they're at their own 26-yard line. Again, I formation with Montgomery and Fisher back there. Here's a toss left side. Fisher with a nice hole. Up to the 35. Brought down awkwardly, and a face mask comes in to boot at the end of the play. It'll be a first down and then some for Trey Fisher.
Wow, what a run right there. He just stopped on a dime, cut that thing upfield, and that's going to now it becomes a little more interesting. I think he can pound a few plays up through the middle here, get a little clock.
So it's a nice run, and then up to the 38-yard line of East Mills goes Southeast Warren. 2:15 to go. Down 32-30. Again, Caden Crow, their kicker, has not tried a field goal this year. I formation. Montgomery and Harvey back there behind, or Montgomery and Fisher back there behind Harvey. They'll hand it off Montgomery. Nice hole for him inside the 20. To left side, inside the 20, and still going. Knocked out of bounds. Actually, they'll say just outside the 20 at the 22-yard line.
That looked like a little bit of wing T action there with ball handling. Give Landon Harvey the Emmy there. I thought Trey Fisher had that ball. He had me psyched out, and then he hands that thing back behind himself to get that to Montgomery on the big run. Yeah, Montgomery has been big here in this game. You know, he's not Fisher and he's not Landon Harvey, but he has done some amazing things in crucial times.
1st and 10 from the 24 is where they spot it. 1:57 to go. I formation. They'll feed Fisher again. Fisher keeps the pile going close to the 20. They'll stop it at the 21.
Did he get 2 yards with all those people hanging on him?
He just, again, kept the pile moving. This would set up right now. You're at 38 yards.
For your first field goal of the season. Hey, coach, put me in.
Now, Caden Crow is usually their kicker, not doing any warm-up on the sideline.
That's what I was watching him, too, wondering if he's getting loose.
They'll hand it off. Fullback Montgomery brought down at the 17. And if you're East Mills, you're in a really tough spot here because do you put your eggs in the basket of getting a stop? Or when do you contemplate your timeouts?
Right, because you got to start thinking you need some of this clock.
3rd and 5 coming up from the 18. We're down to 1:05 to go in this one. I formation for Landon Harvey with Logan Montgomery and Trey Fisher back there. They will toss right side. They go double reverse. Harvey has a man open. Montgomery, it's caught. Touchdown!
Oh,
Southeast Warren. They go to the bag of tricks, and it works. With a minute to go, the Warhawks are on top.
The old coach with the white shirt and tie on, no matter, baby. I got some bag of trick right here for you. Double reverse flea flicker, and who do you throw to? The fullback.
It's Halloween. Good time
It's
for
Halloween.
trick-or-treating, and right now that is a treat for the Southeast Warren faithful. Makes it 36-32 with 50 seconds to go, and they will go for two.
Oh, my gosh.
You could see that one coming on the toss, that there was going to be something simpler, more than just a simple toss.
That was third down. Third down and 5.
So now they'll go for two. Play action. Harvey rolling right over the middle, caught by Ruggles, and it's a 6-point game with 50 seconds to go. Now, Mike Wood, if you're East Mills, you've still got 50 seconds, and you have all 3 timeouts.
You got time. This is an 80-yard field, and you got athletes that can streak. You know Mason is a great runner after catch. You also know that Ryan, if he has to scramble, can get to the sideline, save you a timeout. This is not over, folks. Don't go away. Don't turn your radios off and go to bed now. This is 50 seconds left, 3 timeouts. They are down by 6. You're looking at a tied ball game, and then it comes down to the PAT. Do you kick the 1, or do you go for 2, knowing that Ryan has missed 2 opportunities tonight? He's missed a field goal, and then he also missed the 1 PAT that he tried.
If you're Southeast Warren, you're hoping it doesn't get to that. You're
right,
hoping,
I'm telling
you're hoping you
it
can get
does.
the stop.
I think it does.
I said early third quarter, this felt like whoever gets the ball last will have a shot to win it. That's definitely the case, at least. East Mills going to have a chance. 50 seconds to go. How about the trickeration by Coach Shane Rollins? The double reverse pass from Landon Harvey to Logan Montgomery.
Here's Crow kicking off. He doesn't want to squib this because Ryan's right in the middle.
They will kind of kick it awkwardly. Kraus feels at the 13. Kraus trying to get ahead of steam, going left to right. And is brought down at the 21. 44 seconds to go.
43, one more ticked off. A little home clock action going on there. 43 seconds.
East Mills with all 3 timeouts. So the middle of the field is open. If you're Coach Rollins and company, do you think about giving extra attention to Mason Kraus and saying, hey, if Davis McGrew or Jack Gordon or somebody is going to be the guy that beats us, then that's just the way it is?
I think it is. You gotta have your best player locked down. I gotta put Trey Fisher on Mason.
See if they dial up a blitz. That has been their go-to in high-leverage situations tonight. 43 ticks to go. The Southeast Warren crowd is on their feet here in Lacona. They have not won a playoff game since 2018. They beat Arweva in a thriller very similar to this. It came down to a blocked field goal that put the Warhawks in the dome. It was their first year as an 8-man team. Haven't won a playoff game since then. East Mills trying to win their first since 2015. They've got to go 70, 60 yards to do so. Stortenbecker rolling right, pressure coming, ball's out. Mad scramble for it, and it looks like Southeast Warren is on it, and they are.
Ruggles comes in from the blind side and waylays Stortenbecker.
In a game of offensive explosion in the second half, the Southeast Warren defense makes a play that might make them a winner.
Wow. Ryan never had any idea that he was coming in, and just the ball was knocked away, recovered by Southeast Warren. They can set on this and make East Mills use their timeouts.
Yes, so you're not completely out of the woods yet. But you're in if we had win percentages or anything for high school football, they would definitely be favoring Southeast Warren at the moment. 37 seconds left. East Mills with all 3 timeouts.
Yeah, just like to thank KMA for giving me the opportunity to see this game. This is awesome.
First down here would end it, and they can get a first down without scoring. They've got it on their own on the East Mills 16-yard line. They'll just run ahead with Harvey, and a timeout taken by East Mills down to the 14. Now, and if you get in a situation here, Mike, where it's a 4th and long, field goal ends it.
Right.
Would make it a 9-point game. It might be, the juice might be worth the squeeze on that one.
Yeah, what happened? Yeah. Blocked, can't return it.
So down to the 14. Meanwhile, West Harrison wins a thriller tonight with Bedford, 29-27.
Ooh, good one.
So the Hawkeyes are moving on. 32 seconds to go. If you're just tuning in, I don't know what you've been doing, but you've missed a great game.
Everything was built up to be, and it was 2 points, 4 points, just back and forth. Nobody really ran away at any point, and it just in the second half went from defense to everybody can play offense all of a sudden in that third and fourth quarter.
And then the biggest play of the game comes perhaps defensively with the Dylan Ruggles strip sack. The first down would end it for Southeast Warren. 32 seconds to go, up 38-32. They've got the ball on the East Mills 14-yard line. I'm giving the ball to Trey Fisher and telling him to run downhill. They'll go I formation. And they will hand it off Fisher. Fisher, don't go out of bounds. And he does go out of bounds. Unless they blew it dead before he went out, but I don't think they did.
No, it doesn't look like he's winding the clock. So we're at 27 seconds, third down.
Ball moves to the 11.
It's third and about 5.
Third and 6.
East Mills
coming up
needs another stop here. And they'll still have one timeout left to use on offense.
They're trying to argue, the Southeast Warren side, I think, trying to argue that the forward progress was stopped, so he should still be in bounds. But they never signaled that. So here we go with a 3rd and 6 from the 11. They'll hand it off Fisher, and he gets stood up by Ryan Stortenbecker. And East Mills will take a timeout with 22 seconds to go. So now here's the big decision with a 4th down.
Is this, Coach? What are you doing? Are you pulling out the sophomore right footer? Give him a chance.
They're going to talk about it. Caden Crow has not kicked a field goal all year. If he makes this one, it's over. It'd be a 9-point game with less than 20 seconds to go.
He has kicked off all night, so his foot's good and warm, but he doesn't do a lot of practicing here on the sideline. So.
But 4th and 7, maybe too deep to go for it. But also you're saying, hey, if we don't get it, we're making them go 67 yards with one timeout. Last thing you would want on a field goal try, I guess, would be, maybe a snap over the head or, a chase that ends up disastrous. I mean,
that's a lot of negative mojo going on right there.
There's a reason why Shane Rollins is down there donning the dress shirt and tie and looking really sharp, and I'm up here looking like a disheveled mess.
Just talking about it. That's our job. We're just talking about it.
So 4th and 7 from the 13, 22 seconds to go, and Southeast Warren going to go for it. First down ends it. A stop here gives East Mills a desperation shot. They will play action. Harvey to the end zone. Fisher, Ruggles rather incomplete.
Just off the hands of Ruggles there as he went to the back pylon of the end zone. You got 16 seconds left, East Mills. You are down by 6 points. You need the touchdown and then a 1 or 2 point conversion to win this thing and move on in the playoffs.
You're probably wanting a chunk play here. And Southeast Warren is going to take a timeout. So East Mills takes over on their own 13. 16 seconds left. The scoreboard's showing they've got one timeout left.
I guarantee you Coach Schaefer has something in his mind that he's tried or used along the line. You
mentioned the hook and lateral earlier. This
ladder or lateral? What are we on?
I think most people would say lateral is the way to go because, it's a hook and then you lateral. This might be the time where you go to the well with that. Maybe, McGrew to Krause preferably.
Yeah.
That would probably be the way to draw it up.
Or that Mason's going to draw all the attention. Does he catch the hook
also,
and then give it to McGrew coming down?
How aggressive is Southeast Warren? We've seen them bring pressure all night. That's what put East Mills in this situation. But also, Ryan Stortenbecker being able to extend plays has bit Southeast Warren a couple times tonight, including on a 60-yard touchdown pass early in the second half. So,
right. And if you play too soft, you give them a chance to get their timeout called before clock runs to zeros.
1st and 10 from the 13. They're showing Fisher blitz off the edge. Fisher hits Stortenbecker as he throws incomplete. 13 seconds to go. Wanted to go to McGrew.
2nd and 10.
They've come with that heat with Fisher coming off of the defensive right-hand side there almost exclusively here in that fourth quarter. 13 seconds.
13 seconds, 67 yards for East Mills to go if they're to find a way to win this thriller. Southeast Warren trying to get one more stop. Realistically, with the timeout, you've got time for 2 at absolute most. 3 plays, probably more like 2. Empty backfield shotgun, 2 receivers on each side. Sortenbecker wants to throw, takes a lob over the middle. Kraus, it is intercepted. Picked off by Southeast Warren. Cam Cipher, his second one of the night. And the Warhawks are going to survive and advance.
Mason had a chance. He had a chance at that if that ball was a little further thrown down the field.
What a ball game.
What a fantastic job on both sides. There was no quit in either one of those teams there. Excellent, excellent play.
And Cam Cipher, maybe one of the unsung heroes tonight.
How about the call by the coach on the double reverse flea flicker pass for the touchdown? Hadn't seen any of that all year long. How many times did they practice that?
So Southeast Warren will go down to the best formation in football, and the Warhawks are moving on. They win a thriller here tonight, 38-32 rather, in East Mills. A tough loss for the Wolverines and a tough way to end a really, really good season. Mike Wood, your thoughts?
It was a fantastic opportunity for me to get a chance to come all the way down here and see this ball game. I hope all of you enjoyed our commentary tonight on the radio. And my mom, I know you're listening at home. I hope that you got a chance to enjoy this, because I certainly did. And I'd like to thank KMA for the opportunity to come down here and do this. And East Mills going to hang their heads a little bit right now, but they were warriors tonight as they battled the best that they could, and Southeast Warren just came up with one more play there in the fourth quarter.
So the Warhawks moving on now, 9-1 of the year, 9 straight wins. So await their opponent. That'll be released tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Meanwhile, East Mills, their season coming to a close at 6-3. I know it gets said a lot, but it really is a shame somebody had to lose this game tonight.
Yeah, both of these teams are good, and